H's mom is with us. This is Allie, Allison, as her formal name, goes by Allie. Thank you so much, Allie, for being with us and helping us bring some insight. And then there's Miss Leslie. Oh, Leslie, you look like me now.
In the car.
I done that so we wouldn't echo in our mic.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, Allison, do you want to go first and tell us, a little bit about how you're part of the scenario and situation that's actually occurring right now with Summer Wells?
Well, it's a very touchy subject with me because we're all close at one time. And Summer's like a daughter to me. I mean, it kills me every day that this child's gone and no one can find her. It hurts. I mean,
You guys were all very close.
Yes. She was one of my little princesses.
She's a cutie pie.
She was. Still is.
She was a cutie pie. Again, past tense. Allie and Candace knew each other for a year and a half, people. In a year and a half, they lost the friendship. We lost Jose. And now Leslie and Allie are no longer friends. So what we're seeing here is what we're going to see kind of cognitively, what we saw yesterday, people. We're going to see the vendetta, probably. I'm going to call this out. We'll probably see the vendetta, the hatred, the unsettled thought process of what happened, their thoughts, their theories. Again, debunk the stuff we know already. Make sure you have a timeline, because in here it's going to get very, very good with timelines, okay? Teresa did a hell of a job over at Unmasked on this interview. Chris did a phenomenal job. He did not flinch when Allie burped and farted at him and point. She actually did the point fart. You guys check it out. It's on my channel if you haven't seen it already. But again, have a piece of paper ready. Have your pen ready. We have timelines. We know we got to think about from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. A lot of people are looking the 2 to 6 p.m. time frame. I'm looking 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Reason why is because she left the house at 10 a.m., I believe, after she said to the kids, "I'll be right back." And Candace, you're a liar and a fat mouth. All of this was planned so you could get the hunter, have them all alone with you and grandmama. Thank you again for being here. Please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the donations. Much love and respect. Happy holidays. And if you're out tonight at a Christmas party, please do not drink and drive or get an Uber.
She looks like she's a little fireball. She's a little firecracker.
Yep, and she got a little temper, but what kid doesn't at her age?
They think they rule the world when they're the baby, though.
Yep.
So your son, who, like I was saying, we refer to as H. Like I said, you're obviously welcome to call him by his name. Was one of the last people to be with Summer on that day.
Yes. Candace and Summer came to the house that morning, asked if Hunter could go swimming with her. I didn't see nothing fishing with her. I didn't see nothing wrong with it because, brother and sister. Go out, have fun. Do something with that little girl. Show her that there's fun out there, that people love her, people care about her. And, from what I took it, they had gone fishing, and then she dropped them off between 2 and 2:30 in front of my house.
From what I took it, they had gone fishing. How did you take it? Well, you were sleeping. You don't remember.
And she was sleeping in the backseat of her truck. And then next thing you know, later on that night, I got a phone call when I was at the football field saying that Summer was missing. I said, y'all need to stop pulling my leg.
Red flag. If you love someone like a daughter, you would not question the fact that she's missing. You would say, what can I do? Where do you need me? What can I do? How do you need me? You wouldn't be like, oh, don't pull my leg, and then call back a day later. Allie, you're a liar and a fat mouth.
Because me and her mother had a falling out back in late September, early October. She crossed the lines. And
Oh, she crossed the lines October when Don got arrested. Right? Oh my God. Who the fuck is that? Is that Jose? I swear to God, I'll throw a beer bottle at his ass. And if you break my fucking door, I'll be really pissed. Right? I'll throw this R&R at you, you fuck. As soon as I get you out of Allie's belly button, I'm gonna fire a beer at your head. Right? Then we'll get you a free Uber Grandis. Take him to North Carolina. As the kids are kicking the grandma in the knee, she's like, yeah, no problem. No problem, Don. Just stop the hoodlums from kicking me in the knee because I'm going to have to go back to the hospital in a little bit. Probably when your daughter goes missing. Get some more medication to sell to the Ben Hills. Ben Hill Billies.
I ended our friendship. I mean, there's certain lines you don't cross.
Right. I like.
Oh, what do you mean that Jose liked her more than you? Is that the line? Or are you talking about the lines that she put all in the cocaine bar so all you guys could have a threesome, just do a bunch of drugs? Liar, Allie.
That you were still okay with Hunter going
You
though.
lived there basically for days on end. Right? Everybody saw you there. Literally saw you there.
And you were that your friendship didn't change the relationship that your children had. That's very kind.
The way I was growing up is just because you have a falling out with any adult, you shouldn't take it out on the children. No child deserves that.
Very true. And Miss Leslie, would you like to tell us how you fit into the family?
Well, me and Allison work together. And when we started,
Oh, you work at Walmart. I thought you were a nurse. Every drug addict's a nurse. I'm an LVN, right? Especially the ones who intravenously use, right? Oh, no problem. I can hit that for you, no problem, right? They're the ones who go in the doctors and be like, no, I got this. I'll pull blood for you, right? Whatever.
started working together, we became close friends from day one. And, it's like her kids.
That girl in the house.
They call me aunt. Her kids call my daughter their aunt. And we've all got close. And Hunter has become one that, you know how some kids are, they don't feel comfortable opening up to the mother.
Right.
Or the, any kind of role figure. And he actually opened.
By the way, people, just because she says or like BK says, let me tell you, just because there's somebody that you follow or subscribe to, just because Hitler raised his hand and said, work the ovens for today, the same damn thing. Right? Mental warfare. Let me tell you, pay attention, right? To people like Leslie right now saying to all these people, 150,000 people watched this. Right? This should not have been said, right? You do not give a fact that's not factual or without a statistic to prove it.
Opened up with me, and we was talking, and I encouraged him, hey, it's summertime. You're 15. Go get you a job. And that way you can save money. You can get the things that you want. You can help mom buy school clothes. You can do a lot of things that you couldn't do because you don't have the money. And he was excited. He filled out an application. He got a job. And I mean, just the look on his face when he got his first paycheck, that was $127. He acted like he got a check for $1 million.
Aw.
Yep.
I mean, he called my daughter straight up and he said, Aunt Stephanie, look at what I got. And I mean, he was just, and Hunter's the type of person, he's good hearted. Yeah, he has a temper. What
Did she say straight up? What's straight up?
her kids call my daughter their aunt. And we've all got close. And Hunter has become one that, you know how some kids are, they don't feel comfortable opening up to the mother.
Right.
Mhm.
Or and I mean, just the look on his face when he got his first paycheck, that was $127. He acted like he got a check for $1 million.
Aw.
Yep.
I mean, he called my daughter straight up and he said, Aunt Stephanie,
Leslie, your daughter's name's straight up. What's up, dog? Tap it out, straight up.
look
Gangster talk.
at what I got. And I mean, he was just, and Hunter's the type of person, he's good hearted. Yeah, he has a temper. What 15-year-old don't act like they conquer the world, you know?
Oh, they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's like the night that Allison said that she got the phone call. We was at the football field. My grandson plays football. And he was at his practice. And at 7:29, Hunter called my phone to tell Allison that Summer was gone.
Yeah, don't call your mom. Call her friend. Use a lifeline. Weird. You don't trust his mom.
Hmm.
And I mean, from that time on, it bothered Hunter because he was wondering what happened because she was alive the last time he seen her.
Okay.
So Candace sent the TBI and all them to here to talk to.
She was alive last time he seen her. Is that what he said? Or is that the facts? Again, red flag it. Thank you, Beverly Frank.
Her talk to him. And I mean, he's just, I don't want to say he's declined, but he's not as, I don't know if you would say anxious or whatever. He don't want to leave the adult side. He wants to stay around them all the time. He don't want to go out
This
and
has
do
got to be a
stuff
lot
to
for him.
enjoy. He don't want to go out and
What's the adult side, by the way?
enjoy himself doing stuff because he's kind of scared, you know? That's the way I get it. And he wants to shut down.
What's so crazy is that Leslie's talking about it like Hunter's her son.
And I mean, Lord, there's kids coming from everywhere.
I know. That's why I'm like, you can see like they're all directions. They're just coming behind you.
But I mean, Hunter's a good kid. I mean, he honestly is. And if you ask me if I think anything happened, Hunter done anything? No, I don't. I mean, he wants to take things
She was
into
Allie's friend.
consideration of other people.
Sounds like a good kid.
He is.
Right, Vet Girl?
A lot of 15-year-olds don't work. So it's good that he wants to work, get his own money. I mean,
What's working? Throwing gang signs, selling weed. What up, dog?
it's hard for him. You know, he was close with Summer. That was probably like his little sister too, you know? So, and to think that, you know, she could possibly have been abducted. I mean, I think any kid would be scared to leave the house.
See, this is where I have a problem with the interview. When you're interviewing someone, you don't tell them, well, she was probably like your sister. No offense to Melissa B. I don't know her, nothing about her at all. Not trying to be rude, just being honest. You don't filter them an answer when you're asking them a question, right? Then why ask them a question when you're filtering them an answer already? It does not make sense to me why people just like, I had to bite my tongue the very first time Jody Sue got on for 2 hours with me because, again, I like Jody Sue. I have nothing against her. I think she's a very honest woman and a good woman. I have no problems with her, but I have to listen and create my own. Well, I almost had to interrogate her, right? Body language, pay attention to how she's talking, her honest, her jokes within the questions or the answers. Jody Sue's a solid person. I have nothing bad to say against her. But these people are putting words into the mouth after they saw Chris's interview, right? Chris already interviewed them. They already said that Hunter said she was like my sister, but yet he said, yeah, I know she's alive. We were watching TikToks together, but she wasn't awake or coherent or anything when he got out of the car. He has no clue if she was alive or dead. He was not watching TikToks with her at that time. Earlier in the day, yes, from 10 to 2, with no fishing poles when they were supposed to go fishing, Allie, with no bathing suit, right? All makes total sense.
House or their parents' side, and it's not easy.
It's a lot of weight on his shoulders at 15 too. So there's a lot of responsibility that he didn't prepare for, and most people wouldn't because you don't.
If anybody knows about a lot of weight on their shoulders, it looks like Allie because her neck got taken over by her shoulders.
Expect something like this to happen so close to your family. So, Allie, can we back up a little bit and tell us about how you met Candace or the family and how you guys became friends, how long you've known each other?
I met Candace through my mom.
And your mom is Sherry.
Yeah, my mom's Sherry. My mom met her down at the Santa train.
Hell of a grand bun.
Which is a big thing here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Every year they have Santa coming on a train, and all the locals come to it and watch them. And, you know, we just clicked. Me and Candace had a lot in common.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
We're the same age. You know, and I didn't care. You know, it didn't bother me that her house was dirty or not. I get that when I had friendships.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet the reason why this interview didn't happen inside your house, besides the 3 packs of smokes that you're probably smoking, is because your house is a filthy pigsty as well.
To me, it's how the person treats you, and you know. And then my kids knew her before I did. They knew her
because of grandma.
Because of my mom Sherry, yes.
So how long?
So Allie became friends after Hunter was already hanging out and knowing them. So really, it shows that she's not in control of Hunter's life. Yada yada yada. Judah Pout, I'd have to look. I answered like 100 and something emails and messengers and other things today. I'll check if I missed it. I'll get back to it. I'll check spam as well.
How long ago was this? How long have you guys known each other? How long have you been friends?
We've known each other for about a year and a half.
Okay.
2 years. And let's see. I stopped having contact with her back in September, October.
Okay.
There's a Jose.
Yep. Because Hunter's father was moving down here from New York. Candace opened up his house to him and his 14 people that he came down with and their kids.
So, what? So Candace and Don opened their house, or Candace, I forgot Don was in Utah trying to find a new girl, a new place to live. They were on the outskirts. Remember, Don is on probation from October of last year for almost killing Candace, she says, and having a pistol, black powder, whatever. These people aren't telling the full story. How can you have, well, I can understand 15 dogs that disappear, but you have 15 people that come over and hang out and open your house to them. You come down to the dungeon. We got some extra 2x4s. Let me build some more beds. Whatever.
And they decided to go back home the same day, and we kind of got stuck with Jose.
Somebody timestamped this. 3844. Somebody got stuck with them. Jose, no. Jose got stuck in your belly button. ¿Dónde está Jose?
Me and Jose started kicking it off.
Eyeballs comes into my chat and says, Mr. 303 is bashing you on his channel. I've never heard of Mr. 303. That's how much I care. But when threats persuade me not to take food off your table, foo, little sad truths to a lot of you. Let's go see who this guy is. Oh, there's a Mrs. 303. Let's go see who Mr. 303 is.
Let me know. That's funny as fuck. Hey.
Is he copying AB? He got AB's. Are you biting off AB's dick, dude? Who is this?
I respect it if he's just there for the dopamine fix, insulting people and calling them hateful things. You know what I mean? Like, all good. No big deal. But, oh, every time I turn around, the dude wants to have my name in his mouth. And don't get me wrong, okay? I trolled a guy to have my name in his mouth. I'll go pop in his chat and make a comment about, you know.
I don't hear nothing about me. Do you want to give me a timestamp? Is it Doug? He started streaming 37 minutes ago. Oh, he got a good amount of subs. Here, I'll subscribe to him. Should I chat? Here, hey, was you talking shit? Let's see what happens. Wanna throw me a link? Let's go live.
I want to throw you a link. I don't even know you. I don't know. Whatever. Let's see how much of a setup this shit is.
See, this dude wasn't talking shit on me.
I'm always talking shit. Let's see how this goes.
Let's go see.
I love every second of this. That one's probably tonic. Let's see here. All right, hold on. Hold on here. Hold on.
You're handsome?
Here we go again.
Yeah, you looking like a long-term relationship in that quarter zip.
It's just comfortable, okay?
I bet you'd look even better in a suit.
What's up?
Hey, I'm streaming too, so I don't know how this is gonna go. But somebody named. Hold on.
You're good.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know how to shut the sound. Oh,
That I'm talking shit about you? No, I don't know you. I don't. Yeah, I am talking shit, but I'm not talking about you. This is great. So Eyeball is one of the people that don't like us. He's just out there stirring shit up and trolling. No worries. That was awesome. Hey.
okay, I'm back. That was fake. Thanks, eyeballs. Probably just got me a bunch of subs. I appreciate that. Now, back to where we were at. People don't know how I operate, do they?
And the next thing you know, Candace was getting drunk every night and putting her moves all over him.
Oh, the truth comes out. I've never watched this. I've always called this out. Candace put the cornbread chug on him, huh? Yeah, let me take out my teeth. My name is Cornbread Candace.
First of all, you don't do that if you're married. Okay. Second of all, you don't do that to your best friend.
Yes, she does. Dawn does too. They have an open relationship. I've said this the whole time. They probably run around with condoms or used ones in their pockets because they're too cheap to buy used ones or new ones. Right? It's an orgy gone bad, right? Cornbread chug. Guilt. Allie's like, I'll circumcise you, Candace. Let me kick you in the jaw. The holy hell. These two on the bottom are bottom feeders.
It's very true.
Have you ever seen a puffer fish right before they like go back to their normal size? Allie's head looks like a puffer fish.
I just had enough of it.
Who's Jose? I have to ask. How does he play into the mix so that we don't create more
It's the only guy in Hawkins County left that wanted to bang Allie.
speculation? I just want to put out, like, who's
Wiping her mouth like she just ate a crispy Jose or cream.
Jose? Otherwise, everybody's going to start going to find out who Jose is.
Well, Jose he's just some guy.
Is he part? Was he part of your husband's family, like, or the 14 people that came down with your ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Me and
Okay.
Andrew were never married. I would never marry that. Nope.
Okay. So I'll just say
no.
H's dad. Okay. So around that time, you and Candace had stopped talking, but was Candace still friends with your mom, Sherry?
She said what heard my mom, Sherry, had a falling out too over certain things.
Okay.
And
wow, like maybe she knows Hunter and Candace were having a then Jose was like, can you imagine all the KY and butter that was necessary for Allie, Candace and Jose, let alone the drugs, the alcohol, and a very sturdy 2x4 setup until it collapsed and Allie and her belly button got Jose. We'll do a J section later. It's instead of a C section, it's a J section. It's like a Jose section. We'll pull them out. Someone's gonna need to grease up their arm with some. I cannot believe it's not butter. Just greasing the shit out of there.
After I stopped talking to her, she went back to my mom's doorstep and started being like trying to be best buddies with her.
Okay.
And then she
Could you imagine Don coming home? All he hears is like, ay, papi, no me digas. And then he's like, what the fucking hell? I'll break the fucking door over your fucking head. Fire a Coors Light at you. Don't make me break this bottle of R&R over your goddamn head. I will. I'll use the N-word like 5 different times. Call the cornbread mafia and Uncle Ronnie. Uncle Ronnie's going to be pissed.
she still kept contact with my kids, you know, with my older two, and I don't know. I just didn't see it.
All right, so to just throw a red flag on back to a serious note, Allie said that after their friendship broke up, she told us to Chris that Candace would still come by with Hunter. I mean, Candace would still stop by with Summer because she would just show up. What Allie said. So they didn't have a fallout right away, right? When did the fallout happen? Why did great grandbun Sharon or whatever, Sherry, fall out with Candace? So Allie and Candace have Jose problems, right? Then Candace and Allie have Jose issues. Then Candace and Sherry have fallout, right? When did that fallout happen? Why was the fallout? Again, did she know more about Hunter and Candace? Or did she take Allie's side and just be like, it's done? Right? How am I being mean to guests? I don't have any guests on my panel right now. I have no guest on my panel right now. Who the hell am I being rude to? Besides the people on their panel. Moving on. Panel rudeness.
At that time,
Your kids are older, correct? I mean, like you don't have any little ones like Summer's age. You have more teenage years.
Yep. I
So
have a
they're
16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
oh girl. all the teenage years right
Great
there together.
ages.
God bless you. So they all could contact her on their own. Like, so Candace was able to, they were able to have their own contact with her. That's why I was trying to ask, like, they're all older. It wasn't, you didn't have the little people that, she needed to call you and be like, hey, can so-and-so come and hang out kind of thing.
Yeah, my kids contact her on their own.
So, okay. So you guys had the falling out. The children were, and you were still close with her children and she was still close with your children. And then your mom and her had their own separate falling out.
Yep.
Okay, red flag. So when you have a fallout, right? When you have a fallout, Allie, great grandbun, or Sherry, or whatever her name is, Hunter, whether it was like his little sister for a year and a half or not, if you had a fallout because you know that Candace does drugs, alcohol, and tries to bang your boyfriend, why would you let your 15-year-old son or 14-year-old son go with her that day? What point does that make sense? It doesn't make sense.
So this was prior. I'm sure you're aware, at least now, that there was a domestic incident that took place at the Wells house.
Yep.
Was that Jose?
Yep.
Okay. So that puts timing into perspective for me. And then in your
notebooks.
friendship, did you ever witness any type of domestic incidents like that?
Not towards the adults, but Candace, yeah, she used to sit there. She used to yell at those kids, beat them, call them names. I felt sorry for those kids. I mean, you can't sit there and beat a child and call it names. You gave birth.
I feel sorry for your kid. Doesn't mean I'm just going to let my kids hang out with you to make your kid feel better. You can feel sorry for them, get them a Christmas present.
That's your own flesh and blood.
Okay, so when you say she beat her child or the children, do you mean like a spanking? I mean, can you give me like an example? Because otherwise, beating could go into 20,000. I mean, was there like a paddle? Did she make them go out and get their own stick off the tree, kind of like old school times? You know, I mean, I want to know so that we don't create once again more speculation on what beating means to you.
She used to take a belt. She had a belt. She used to chase them around with it when they needed it.
I'm a parent of 2 boys that are 15 and 12, A students, never done drugs, do sports, go to church, good kids, great people of society.
I mean, was there like a paddle? Did she make them go out and get their own stick off the tree, kind of like old school times? You know, I mean,
I have never had to paddle my kids. I've never asked my kids to go pick a switch off a tree. Matter of fact, the most I ever had to do was look at them because I respected my kids and they respected me. Thank you, Beck Girl. The 7 persons that had mentioned physical abuse on the children, but yet they only called CPS after the fallout, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Of course, Allie wasn't calling CPS when she was over there screwing around with Jose on drugs and alcohol and pills in front of kids down in the dungeon doing coke, meth, pills, whatever, alcohol. I've never had to beat the kids. Nor would I ever beat my kids. Have I smacked their hand when they tried to grab something hot? Teach them hot, hot, hot. No. Something to that effect. I don't even have to spank my dog. Why? Because he was trained properly. When your kids and animals are given discipline, no matter how you feel as a parent, they respect you more and they will be more as a kid, as a child, to an adult, to society, a good human. Good human. You instill that into them as a parent. Mr. Gross says, I just joined in Doug. I'm a mess lately. Family has COVID first Christmas. I'm alone eating pizza and dinner. Stick it out with me, Mystic. I'll be going to church tomorrow at like 4 p.m. Pacific. But I'll be here tonight with you guys and tomorrow night. I'll get my kids till Christmas Day, so spend Christmas with me. Got a family here. Thank you for that. I'm sorry about the Rona. I had the Rona twice. I had my shot, the Johnson & Johnson, 9 months ago. 10 months ago, right? Sad thing, but thank God I made it through it. Again, a lot of people aren't as lucky. I pray for you and your family. I keep them in my wishes and my prayers tonight. Thank you for that. Back to them.
I mean, I want to know so that we don't create once again more speculation on what beating means to you.
She used to take a belt. She had a belt. She used to chase them around with it when they needed it.
Okay.
If she had a belt, she should have given it to Benny Keys. So when he ran down the driveway like a blithering idiot, he could have waved his hands around like this and yelled instead of had to hold his pants up.
Yep.
But you never saw domestic issues between Dawn and Candace.
Nope. I have heard of them, but I've never witnessed them.
Okay. Had she told you about them prior to, like, during your friendship? Had she said, like, these are situations that are occurring, or that she was on the statement she makes for the domestic incident? She talks about that she is afraid of Don.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think with that she was, I don't think she was afraid of him at that time.
Okay.
I think it was just like doing it out of spite, making it look good because, like I said, Donnie was in Utah. Then he comes home and he's got a strange man in his house.
So remember, October, the marriage was already on the rocks. Don and Candace, if their daughters wasn't missing right now, they had their boys, they wouldn't be together, or one of them would be in jail for the domestic and all the other stuff. This relationship is done. Take the L out of lover because it's over. As soon as one cracks on the other, it's definitely over.
Now, is that guy
You know,
Chris?
from what we heard, is they
Don was in Utah when he ran into Jeannie again. Mary told me the story. He ran into Jeannie. He was out there looking for a place to move to and live, right? He was in the middle of separating from Candace, right? And now the secrets and the threats became too much. He came home, found Jose in there. He said, "No way, Jose." Threw a beer bottle at him and tried to kill him.
were all getting along at one time.
Then he threw down Candace and hurt her knee.
The next thing you know, we found out that Donnie got arrested. Jose's wherever,
We don't know, your belly button.
and Candace was alone. And then Candace turned around and dropped charges.
Okay. Melissa, did you have a question? I heard you pop in, but
No,
I didn't
well,
get
she
you.
said
So what we can do with this timeline when she's like September, October, right? End of September, early October. We can look back at Don's arrest date last year, the reason why he's on probation. Again, this is it. She filed something. Candace said she's in fear for her life. Yada, yada, yada. Jose is under Chasing's porch. Thank you, Daisy.
strange man, so I didn't know if she was referring to Chris, but I think she was referring to Jose.
To Jose. So that is another question. Did you ever meet Chris that lived on the property that would have been her, I believe, nephew?
Nope, never even heard of him.
Okay. So he didn't live there when you guys were friends?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see.
I do want to ask one question. Now, there's
Absolutely,
so
go
many
ahead.
rumors going about the shave head. There was rumors it was lice. There was rumors that she wanted to be a tomboy. Do you know why the heads are shaved or in summers?
Yes, little Summer wanted her hair shaved because Candace shaved her head. Two of the boys had their heads shaved at the time. My son had his head shaved at the time. And at first, it was just a thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
shaving people's heads. Like my daughter shaved the back of her head underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, there was a license in it.
To Jose. So that is another question. Did you ever meet
What'd she say about the shaved head?
Chris that lived on the property that would have been her?
That's one question. Now, there's
Absolutely,
so
go
many
ahead.
rumors going about the shave head. There was rumors it was lice. There was rumors that she wanted to be a tomboy. Do you know why the heads are shaved or in summers?
Yes, little Summer wanted her hair shaved because Candace shaved her head. Two of the boys had their heads shaved at the time. My son had his head shaved at the time.
So everybody wants to join the cornbread mafia, or are they all Nazis? What the holy hell? Let's all shave each other's heads and eyebrows. Let's get to it. Seems weird. The only reason why you don't shave your head is because, well, you can't reach your head.
At first, it was just a thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
shaving people's heads. Like my daughter shaved the back of her head underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, there was a license in it. And we got sick of dealing with it, so she shaved her boys' heads. And then next thing you know, Summer, being a typical little girl, she decided to get a hold of some scissors. And next thing I know, she had her head shaved. But she liked it.
I always say I'd shave my head if I could. If I thought that people wouldn't try to figure out what the heck was wrong with me, I hate it. I'd shave it all off. So I get it. Little Summer, shave it. Do you know when the lice incident was? Like how long ago that actually was? Because the current photos of the boys, they don't look like they have their head shaved anymore.
No, we had one lice incident when I was up there. And
One lice incident. Would they jump off the bed and onto your head?
And we cleared that up. And then when we stopped talking, all the kids were still on a virtual schooling. So
Okay. So that was before you guys were not friends anymore then?
Yep.
Okay. Was lice
Did
a
Don ever
common
shave
thing?
his head?
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Did Don ever shave his head too? No.
Not really.
Actually, his head was shaved, but he told me he grew it out because he has to get testing. They're doing hair follicle testing. He didn't need to grow it out for that. He didn't want the persona of that head shaved anymore, just like all of his kids, because he does look like a gangster Nazi.
Well, I just figured with all the lice going around, I thought he would shave it as well.
Well, I don't think any lice could live in his greasy hair. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't even think his hair hardly ever grew.
Don's?
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't he have like a little, he has a little bit of long hair back there in the back. A little something going on.
Cadillac cut.
But it's taken forever to grow.
Do you?
Why is she laughing and why is she winking?
How was your relationship with Don? Were you guys friends as well?
Yeah. We'd sit there and we'd cut up all the time, you know. We'd come home from work. Hey, how you doing? You know, we'd sit there, we'd listen to music. You know.
Okay, so everybody was kind of friends at the time. Everybody was hanging out and getting along, and then the incident happens. Then you guys aren't friends. Now everybody's hanging out. She stops by. So let's go back to first, Melissa. Do you have any other questions about the friendship and stuff before we go on to June?
Oh yes. Now, was that the only time that she picked up Hunter? Was just that one time to go to the swimming hole, or did they hang out often?
She used to bring the kids over here to the park across the street from me, and they used to play in the park.
Okay, so then you guys would hang out together, or the kids would go over and hang out at the park with her and her kids?
Yes. And there was a time when my oldest kind of snuck off and went up to her house with her best friend and spent the night there. And then she pissed my oldest off, and my oldest caught ways with her.
Is that recent?
Yep.
I've seen a lot of photos of your oldest daughter, I believe to be your oldest daughter, with Summer. She seemed like she liked her. She loved her a lot.
She did. That was her little sidekick.
So, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, so is there anything else that we should cover prior before we move on to June that you guys, anybody can think of?
And Candace and Donnie, yes, they used to drink all the time.
Okay. Do you know of any recreational drugs use that was there?
Candace loved to get high. Off marijuana.
Marijuana, okay.
That's why she only says marijuana, because when she was there, she did hard drugs with Jose and Candace and drank with them. She does not want to get in trouble for that. Again, she's a liar. Fat mouth.
Let's see. Somebody did ask a question real quick that I would like.
It's funny that she's got to protect herself, right? And Candace has to protect herself by saying that she didn't give Hunter the alcohol, the vapes that have the THC in it, etc. She got to cover herself. Candace also got to cover herself for her and Hunter's relationship, right? So it seems like everybody's covering for everybody because they have to. Again, the reason why Donna and Candace are still together is because they have to cover for each other.
Was the Wells house like more of like a party house, like where everybody kind of went and hung out, or was it more like just, family, like occasions, barbecues, kind of things like that? Like how often, like how was it, like a party house, or was it just a chill hangout spot?
Well, it wasn't a party house because no one really came up there.
That's a lie. I thought all these random people were always in and out of there, and 14 people came over there to stay there. Kind of weird, Allie.
Okay.
I mean, Donnie and Candace used to get drunk every night. Candace had this thing about after 5:30 at night. Hey, let's get drunk.
On the daily?
Yep, on a daily, she did.
Okay. Did you guys ever live there with her?
I stayed with her from time to time.
Okay.
On your binging and your Joseing.
You and the kids, or just like you'd hang out there and stay there?
Me and the kids.
Okay.
So, which means she let her kids be around this behavior because she's partaking. Again, you're a shitty mother as well, Allison.
And how about your mom? Did your mom ever like stay over
And your mom's brand bun sucks.
there or live there by any chance?
Nope.
Okay. So all right, so let's talk about June then. So on June
Real quick,
15th.
I do have something else.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is Jose still over at the house, or did he leave?
No, her mom supposedly brought him to North Carolina after Donnie got arrested.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any more, Melissa?
No, that's all. Go ahead.
Has anybody had contact with Jose since he got taken to North Carolina, as far as you know, Allie or Leslie?
Nope, and I prefer not to hear from him ever again because there's these things that you post on Facebook like 1 through 10, what am I to you? Well, my oldest had it up on her Facebook one day.
What am I to you? Jose posted. Well, he's merely your belly button lint by now.
And he turned around and he goes, number 10, your crush, LOL. I'm sorry, you're a 43-year-old man. What in the hell are you doing? Telling my 15-year-old daughter you got a crush on her. That's nasty.
Like, you're gone.
Nasty.
Blocked from every platform.
What?
Okay, so we'll start with June 15th then, and we'll talk about that. So walk us through what you know of June 15th, and then we'll ask some questions.
June 15th, like I said, Candace stopped by here, asked if Hunter could go fishing with
no boy.
with her in Summer. She did not have the other 3 boys with her. I asked her where the boys were. She said they were home. They were supposed to be cleaning.
Got some fireworks going off?
Yep.
No, Uber Eats is coming.
Fireworks going off.
Well, that's what it sounded like.
Starting early.
Yep. And
So we can place this interview in July. Fireworks are going off. This is when that interview took place. So June 15th, Summer Wells goes missing. In between June 15th and the end of June, she does her interview with Chris. Then she gets on here on Unmasked and does this interview again, relatively fresh in her head.
she brought him home between 2 and 2:30.
Sandra!
Summer was asleep in the back seat of her car
Okay.
in the truck.
Now
And it was strange because
was the grandma there? Did she go swimming with them and fishing that day with them?
the grandmother, when Candace picked Hunter up, The grandmother was in the hospital to get her knee checked out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So the kids kicking her in the knee was previous to this. It wasn't any time recently. Because if they broke up friendship-wise in October of last year, that doesn't mean the boys were kicking. And Allie says, yeah, she had to go to the hospital because the boys were kicking her in the knee. No, they weren't. Not at this time, if that even happened. She went to go get her fix, and Candace knew she had some time. I'm wondering if Grandis was even at the swim hole at this point. I think it was her, Hunter, and Summer possibly. And why Hunter and Candace were rocking down that sweet tea, that twisted tea of theirs, something bad happened to Summer.
And what time was that at? What time did she come and pick up Hunter?
It was between 10 and 10:30 in the morning.
That's the time frame. Everyone's saying, oh, what happened between 2 and 6? Screw 2 and 6. It's 10 and 6. 100%. She left the house saying, boys, I'll be right back. There's no food in the fridge or nothing. No in or no out. I'll be right back. From 10 to 6 isn't I'll be right back.
Okay.
There.
So when she dropped him off between 2 and 2:30, did you see Summer in the car at that time?
There.
Yes, Summer was in the back seat of the truck.
And she
Was
was
there milk
sleeping.
also in the back seat?
Yep, the 2 gallons of milk were side by side, and she was leaning up against them. And I was asking Candace questions like, "Oh, she must be tired."
Side by side? Bullshit. They were on top of each other. Side by side would be next to each other, and there's no way Summer could have been leaned over or propped up. The only way they'd be side by side, which we didn't see, is if Hunter gets out of the car, if he's sitting there, the milk jugs fall over, and he sets them up side by side and lets just Summer just lay over the top of them. Why didn't they let you go see Summer? Or is it because you didn't want to get off your ass and go see her? Who knows?
Oh, she must be pooped, must have had a long day. Because usually, if she heard my voice, she would wake up. And she'd run out of the truck. So
she could run out of the truck because she's not in a car seat, she's not in a booster, and she's not in a seatbelt all the time. So she usually just runs out of the truck like it's a magic trick.
I kept peeking my head around Candace because the back window was rolled up. She finally rolled the window down. I said, "Oh, I just..."
Okay, this is a little bit of different. Red flags. You said, Chris, what was really odd was she had all of her windows rolled up. No, she didn't.
Open the door. I want to touch her. I want to give her a hug, She goes, "No, we have to get the groceries home."
Okay.
Was she in her red SUV or was it a red truck?
It was a Silverado.
Oh, okay.
It was her mom's truck.
Thank you, Aaron, for letting us know. So apparently Chris's interview came after the fact. So July 2nd, which would have been my mom's 64th birthday, was the day that this interview happened, and Chris was July 15th. So thank you, Aaron Berger, for that.
Her mom's truck.
What?
Did-
A little while. Okay.
This is the kind of parent Allie is. Not now. Sandra, not now.
Can I do this?
So then Hunter did go to the store with Candace, and Summer.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know, did Hunter actually go fishing, or did they just swim? Did you ever find that out? Like, because she asked if he could go and go fishing. Was there like fishing in?
Because usually, if she heard my voice, she would wake up.
Okay.
Was she in her red SUV or was it a
Truck.
Her mom's truck.
What? little while. Can I do this?
So then Hunter did go to the store with Candace, and Summer.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know, did Hunter actually go fishing, or did they just swim? Did you ever find that out? Like, because she asked if he could go and go fishing. Was there like fishing and swimming, or how did that work out?
From what they're telling us and what Hunter has told us, they just went swimming.
Okay. When you saw Summer in the back seat of the truck, do you know what she was wearing?
Ooh. I know she had a long sleeve pink shirt on, like a hoodie type thing. And I believe it was her gray pants.
Okay.
Again, this is summertime. They just left the swim hole. Candace is in a tank top, shorts. Candy Hare's in a short sleeve shirt, probably shorts, jean shorts, probably. Why is Summer dressed like it's wintertime?
So did he happen to tell you if he went into the store with Candace? Like, did they all sit in the car and wait for Candace? Do you know anything about the grocery store trip?
He said that him and Summer were outside in the truck watching TikTok videos.
That's when everybody was in the store or at Walgreens, people. That was not before they got home. We're missing that piece of the puzzle. Thank you, Little Miss Sunshine. Much love and respect. Appreciate your super sticker.
Okay. And did Grandma stay in the truck with them, or did Grandma go into the store with Candace?
Grandma went in the store with Candace, which I thought was kind of odd because we just got out of the emergency room with a sore leg. What are you doing in the store?
Getting a prescription.
Did Hunter say if Grandma went to the swimming hole with them? Did they go pick up Grandma and then go to the swimming hole?
He didn't say.
Okay.
Red flag. Again, confirming my suspicions, probably. Where we listened to Candace with Chris at the swim hole. She's like, yeah, my mom was in the front seat. Right? And Hunter was in the back, and she had unlocked the door for them in the back, or opened the door. And Hunter went one way up to the hill, and then Summer was going to run right to the water. Candy Hair did not have a bad knee and go to that swim hole and walk through the mud, go down to the water, walk over all those logs, the trenches, the muddiness. Bullshit. 100% fucking bullshit. I'll put $1 in the cuss jar. Was Candy Hair even at the swim hole that day? Because if anything, Candy Hair would have been sitting in the Suburban or whatever you guys were driving, smoking after smoking after smoking, checking her phone, reading a book, taking some pills, sleeping. Right? It's not like she was antsy to get home and repot cactus when she's like, just look at it. I gotta do something. We gotta do this right now. Put away the groceries, grab Summer. Look at these. The whole day's bullshit.
Do you know the name of the grocery store they went to?
Joe, please don't be mad at me. I'm going to disagree with that. My son has had 2 hip replacements. He's 20. Oh, Lord. He was born in 2001. He's 24. Okay. He had hip replacements when I started Summer's case. Actually, I posted about it because prednisone from rejection in his heart ate at his hips. When you get a hip replacement, you can do things you couldn't do before. You can move, you're flexible, my son can run. So I don't feel that if you've had a knee replacement or a hip replacement that you couldn't walk down that path to the lake. I've always disagreed with that. I believe Grandis was there at the pond. That's just my opinion. How was Summer the only one that went after the swim hole? I mean, Hunter said he jumped in to get her out of the water because she was under. So how is he not wet? He was wet. There's video of him in it. Cotton Candy. Candace has video of Hunter in the lake splashing Summer, and she references that moment to Chris McDonough. She says Hunter was splashing him, and I told her to stop. I told him to stop because she didn't like that. A knee mobilizer on? Well, that could be a brace. A knee mobilizer would be like a brace or something on a knee. Ugh. Look, I reset my computer. I can't find my damn thumbnail. I have to go find it in Canva for all my lives. That's why you guys ain't seeing my thumbnail. I'm thinking about creating another one. And now my computer turned every notification I get on every fucking website on, and it keeps going ding, ding, ding. So, Earl, if you're seeing this, I didn't see your message. I can't click on it, and don't message me again, please, while I'm live, because it makes that sound and drives me nuts. But she was at the hospital because her knee hurt. Yes, she was. We were told she had a doctor's appointment, and then we were told that she went to the emergency room for pain in the knee. Lots of people do that daily. Maybe it was the night before. I'm not saying don't discredit everything you guys are thinking. Your opinions are your opinions, but if you're stating and looking at facts, the police said the milk jug video wasn't the last video. However, something else I want to point out, and I didn't get Kirst's answer. Was the milk the same brand that they sell at that price list? I'm curious about that. All right, I'm going to mute again. I want to put this back on. This is like we have 2 hours left of this live, and I want to come back tonight. So I want to try to get through this as fast as I can. All right, hold on.
It was priceless.
Priceless.
I'm gonna have to say, if Candy Hare was there, she knows everything about Candace and Hunter's relationship. 100% she keeps it a secret because that's what she does. She turns the other cheek. If she was even there.
Okay, so
Now there is.
Go ahead.
There is rumor going around that Candace gave your son alcohol at the swimming hole. Is that true?
Yes, that is very true.
Is it very true that your son took that alcohol and drank it and nobody forced him to? Yes, that's very true. Very true. That's the kind of people you let your son hang out with, knowing that's what they do.
I know if Melissa had something else because she's frozen on my screen. I don't know if she's frozen for you guys, but
Yeah, I was frozen for a second.
okay.
Looks like the Grinch who stole Christmas down on the left corner is frozen.
Okay, so how far from the swimming hole to your house, approximately, like time-wise or mile-wise?
I'd say about a 15, 20-minute drive, depending on which direction you take in traffic.
So that takes 40 minutes going each direction, right? 20 each way. 15, 20 minutes to get to the swim hole, 15, 20 minutes to get back, depending which way you take. Let's try the closest in between two as the straight line. We'll just go with 20 minutes. So part of the 2 hours that we're missing could be travel. Remember all the travel time on top of what you guys are missing.
Would the grocery store be on the way from the swimming hole?
I just want to remind you guys how I operate over here. If trolls come in and you can clearly tell they're trolling, just ignore them and let them troll. I save it. It's fun to have for later. So if you don't address them, they'll eventually go away. So just ignore the trolls.
To your house?
Yes.
So it would make sense in your mind that she would stop at the store before bringing Hunter home and then driving home.
Yeah.
Or would it make more sense for her to go back and call Don from inside the supermarket, let him know what the hell's going on when Hunter's still in the car? Because Hunter made it back to the house that day. You guys said Hunter didn't, but Candy Hair said he did. What is the truth? Hunter made it back to your house while Summer Wells was still in the car. I'm pretty sure that happened.
Okay.
Somewhat, but there's several grocery stores from here to her house.
Wouldn't it be kind of crazy if that was all backwards? Like they went back to the house and they told the boys, "Oh, we got to pot flowers, we got to do this," but instead, that's when Candace takes Hunter with her back to the supermarket, the price list, calls Don, tries to figure out what's going on, and then drops Hunter off. Right?
Okay. So that she could have dropped him
Or grabs Candy Hair again.
off and then went to the grocery store and then went home.
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things that's been talked about is that Hunter said that Summer had fallen asleep in the car during the ride home. Was that was because he was watching TikTok videos with her at the grocery store? Then she fell asleep after on the way.
Her and Hunter probably both passed out. He had alcohol and THC in him. He was probably done.
From the grocery store to home, or had she been in and out of sleep, or how what do you know about that?
He said that she just fell asleep right after, they were watching TikTok videos and she fell asleep because she was tired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There was another thing too, that Summer had went underwater for almost a minute and he had to save her or get her up out of the water.
No.
No.
He said that she was underwater for 10 to 20 seconds. That minute thing got blue.
Another red flag. So that story didn't happen, huh? She didn't go underwater, hit her head, have an issue. He didn't save her. He didn't become the hero. Was his shorts or anything even wet? Because if Candy Hair doesn't want the seat to get wet and has Summer Wells sitting on a supposed pillow, right? Hunter didn't know they were going to go swimming. He thought they were going fishing. He didn't bring a bathing suit. So was Hunter allowed to get back in the car all soaking wet and sitting on a chair? Sitting on the seat, soaking it? Where's the pillow? Where's the pillowcase? Did you dispose of Summer Wells in it?
Blew completely out of proportion.
Yes, it did. It did.
Well,
And I
that's
mean, he
interesting.
was only under, he said that she slid on a rock, went under, and he jumped in and grabbed her.
Okay, so she slid on a rock, went under, and then he just reached over and got her out. So
Yeah.
like very quick reaction time. That makes so much
Yeah.
more sense because we actually had a lot of questions about like how a minute would have gone by that somebody would have known she was under for a minute and nobody would have gotten her out. 10 to 20 seconds makes a lot more sense. I appreciate it.
I call bullshit red flag. He did not get in the water, did not get wet, and did not grab her within 10 to 15 seconds. In-fucking possible. Mayflower, thank you so much. Another $1 in the cuss jar. Impossible. Please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Again, Hunter does not have that reaction time, 10 to 15 seconds, guaranteed.
You guys answering that. Great question, Melissa.
Yeah, there's no way that a 5-year-old would stay underwater for a minute. And not, and and your son not knowing, where'd Summer go? That was just, everyone did blow that out of proportion.
There's a lot of it blown out of proportion.
Yes, a lot.
It did. It got blown way out of proportion. Like,
And one of the things that gets me is them to actually believe that a 15-year-old is in a relationship.
That was
with
another one.
her.
Yeah, everyone was saying that your son and Candace were dating.
yeah, that was one big rumor. That's crazy. Hunter's got a girlfriend.
Oh, you got a girlfriend? I didn't lose my virginity till I was 18. But when I was 15, I looked at every piece of butt that walked by. I'm not going to lie. I'm a man. I'm a dude. It happens. I don't rubberneck anymore. But when I was 15, the POP was on my mind. The power of the pussy. You women have it. It's called the POP. You can giveth and taketh away.
I want to commentate on that. You're covering missing children. Children that could have potentially been essayed. And then you talk like that on your live. Lots of creators do it. I won't name them. Doug is not the only one, but it's gross. It's gross. It's not funny, in my opinion. If any of you think that that's funny, go ahead. But to me, that's gross. You're covering a missing child. There are other children out there having things like that happening to them. And you're making light of sexual innuendos while covering a missing child. It's disgusting, in my opinion. All right. I mean, I get it. I make jokes too. Don't get me wrong, but usually it's like when I'm covering Jody or something, like, this is serious. This right here, this interview he's going over is serious, and it's not the time or place for it. It's disgusting.
Bullshit, I call these.
Oh, Hunter.
Yep. He's head over heels for this one.
Uh-oh. Watch out, Mom. Do you
Well, he
know
already knows.
Do you know how many alcoholic beverages that
Are you sure her heels aren't over her head?
she gave him that day? Like how many drinks did he have?
I've heard one. And then I seen on here that there's a video that some dude posted. I guess the dude
Yes.
went to the site and he kept counting out all these twisted tea bottle cans.
No.
For one,
Okay, that
they
was
didn't even
over a
match one
week
another.
after it happened. And more than Hunter and Candace and them went up there because it's
Right.
a known place. It's at the horse pond where people.
No, it's not like a known place. The reason why Candace goes there and the reason why she told Chris she goes there is because it's not that well known. It's not that crowded, and they can get away with whatever illegal activity they want to, including having sex with a 15-year-old while their daughter drowns or her daughter drowns.
People go ride horses and fish.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to tell me nobody has drunk up there at the horse pond since Hunter drank that one.
Thank you for joining.
Because
Was
there
it a
was 3
twisted tea
different
that,
kinds.
that Hunter had drank?
It wasn't.
Yes.
It was okay.
And Candace keeps changing her stories. Like every day it's a different story. And they don't add up.
Do you know, had she given him alcohol before? Do you know?
Not that I
She shook her head yes. You fucking lying bitch. You let your son hang out with people who give him alcohol and drugs and knew it and let them do it again and again and again. How long did this go on for? Because I'm assuming when they met a year and a half previous, it started pretty closely to right after that. What kind of parent puts straight up? Sweet dreams, straight up, home slice. What I'm saying, K-Dogs, get the Airstream. Got a big fat liar. We got to tug to the big fat liar hospital.
Can really say.
Okay. You were there when he returned home. Did he
Yes.
seem like he was intoxicated, or like that he would have had like
No,
any
he
form
was a
of
perfect
altered?
15-year-old.
Okay.
He was holding straight conversations, walking a straight line.
So he
Okay.
probably could have had like a few sips. Nothing to get him to.
Well, if he's a 15-year-old that doesn't drink, or a 14-year-old or 13-year-old that doesn't drink, yeah, one twisted tea or two of them may screw him up. What about the medications he may be on? Right? What about the medications that he's on, if he's on any, and mixing alcohol with it at 14 years old? The hell is wrong with you, Allie? Knowing your kid is drinking, smoking, straight West Coasting. What kind of mother are you? You're the same kind of mother as Candace. You're the same type of person as Leslie. Birds of a feather flock together, and you're a bunch of flockers. Did we see what I did there? Flockers flock together. Right. Moving on.
All he told us is that he had a twisted tea from her. And she also had purchased him puff bars.
No, Mom. I didn't say twisted tea. I said she twisted my D.
Which are nicotine vapes.
Oh. That day as well, or just at some other point?
That day as well.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure we catch any questions before we move on to anything else. 10 to life.
Oh, time to stretch it out. Shut up, Cher. Shut up, Cher. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Cher. No. Shut up, Cher. Shut up, Allie. Shut up, Candace. Hashtag FTFO. Don and all of you.
Thank you so much, and I think I got yours. No Drama would like to know, since you guys were at the
Allie farted on a live stream. She stinks. She stinks. She's a liar.
Wells property often. Do you know that if their dogs would bark, or how often they would bark? Like if a stranger came up, did they bark? Did they bark when you guys that the dogs knew came up? How did that, like, how were the dogs?
Yeah, okay. They have about 20 dogs on their property. They don't spay their dogs. They don't neuter them. I know.
Big fucking surprise. Called that out too. Might as well just. Can I solve the puzzle? I feel like I'm on Jeopardy and shit. What is I'll solve the puzzle for 5,000, Alec? Ding, ding, ding.
I've been around 12 of the 20 because the dog just had puppies.
Okay.
Those dogs would bark. Anytime someone came up that driveway, they bark, even if they knew you. If they knew you, once you got up to the top, you were fine. If they didn't know you,
only truth she's told.
They're trying to eat you up before you even got on that property.
Like,
that's a lie. We saw two dogs run down when that idiot was running down with his pants falling down, getting down like James Brown, looking like a clown. Right? Those dogs came out, wagged the shit out of their tails. No barking. They just wagged their tails.
Like at the drive, like they would have known you were coming, like when you were at the end of the drive.
Yes. Like Candace and her mom, Candace, and the kids had left last summer to go to Wisconsin to meet one of the new grandchildren that were being born. And Me and her neighbor were taking turns feeding the dogs. I'd go up one day and feed the dogs. He'd go the next day and feed the dogs. And keep eyes on the property.
Okay.
As soon as my mother would pull in the bottom of that driveway to even start up that hill, those dogs would come running down.
True.
Showing their teeth and all. Those dogs are very protective.
It's funny. I've got $1 million for anybody who shows me a video of Allie walking up their driveway. Moving on.
Interesting. Okay. Melissa, do you have anything that you'd like to ask for that?
Oh no, I was having problems with my camera.
Oh, going in and out.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know about Summer's room being in the basement? Was it just her room that was in the basement, or was there more like, did the parents sleep in the basement? Were the boys in the basement? How, you don't have to tell me all their living situation, but just, was she alone down there, or was it just her playroom?
At one time, it was all the rooms.
Don be like, no, basically, we do the cocaine Olympics down here. Play Spackler's Gone Wild on the TV. Got some crazy stuff going on down here. Right? Oh, it's Grandpa. We love our Grandpa. Hold on. What do you want?
Look, I can't stand Doug's mouth. I can't stand how he got on Squall's panel. I can't stand the way he spoke about us all the time with Hunter and Candace. I don't believe that that was the case, in my opinion. You guys are welcome to believe differently. I personally think that Doug has a S addiction, and it's kind of gross. However, this phone call he just took, I look at things biased and unbiasedly. We're going to look at Doug like that too. I do love that he had this relationship with this guy that called him every night that he was close to that has some problems. So I'll give Doug credit about that. But Doug, you went on Squall's panel while they were shit talking me. You blocked me every time I come into your chat for no damn reason. I never had a single fucking conversation with you. But you seem to have had a problem with me like everybody else, like YouTube's most hated true crimer, right? Yeah. I think going forward, we're going to clown you a little bit. Not yet, but I can't wait for my Halloween party, guys. I hope you are all ready. Okay.
It's you? Yeah, happy Christmas, Kwanzaa. Yes, I washed my hands. I did call my kids. Call me tomorrow night. Hey, Grandpa. All right, Grandpa. Yeah. Bye. All right, Grandpa called. He calls every night. Last night I had it on mute on accident. We haven't missed Grandpa in months. Calls every night at 8 p.m. Moving on.
Like, you walk down the steps, to your right was Summers in the boys' room with their toys, and then to the left was the side where Donnie and Candace slept. And then
Donnie on the one side of the bed, Summer every single night for her whole life, besides probably the very interim and when Don was gone. But when she was old enough to walk, she was old enough to sleep in that bed. That's what they've done. Don showered her. We slept together. Don, what else did you do to her?
Okay.
something about she had gotten a CPS report one day, so they moved the boys' room upstairs to the living room. And they kept Summer's room downstairs.
Wait. We were told everyone sleeps down there. Right? So you've got boys upstairs that are free to come and go, and you would never hear or see them because you're down in the dungeon doing something to a 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old little girl. You fucking weirdos.
And the parents were still downstairs.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a very, very small house.
Were the dogs like well mannered? Like, were they vicious? Did they have any dogs that would hurt a child or somebody who would come on the property?
Those dogs protect.
Here's my thing. I'm not saying that it is the case, but let's say something like this was really going on with Summer. Okay? Every time Doug gets on here and does that and says something like that, his dirty, gross, disgusting shit, he's reoffending that little girl if that is what happened to her. Do you understand that? And it's disgusting. He's re-offending this missing little girl. He's gross, in my opinion. He's not the only one. I'm not going to name the other ones today, but maybe one day when we're reviewing them, we will. I'm sure everybody knows who they are. But this is re-offending a victim in any case when you do that. It's disgusting. And then her brother's got to get on here for the rest of their life. Say one day they're missing their little sister and her family and what could have been. Because that's what happens when you're in foster care. That's what happens to children. You have wonders of what could have been. I know, I've been there. My husband, not the one I'm with now, my first husband who passed away, I'm widowed. Okay? My first husband, he been there. You grow up and you want to look for your family and you start looking into them. They may look at that one day and they're going to have to hear how Doug reoffended their sister every time he fucking spoke. It's gross. You males that come on here and cover true crime, if you can't see a fucking problem with the way you cover these cases, you're the problem. I'm telling you.
To those kids.
Okay. I'm going to make H's mom is with us. This is Allie, Allison, as her formal name, goes by Allie. Thank you so much, Allie, for being with us and helping us bring some insight. And then there's Miss Leslie. Oh, Leslie, you look like me now.
In the car.
I done that so we wouldn't echo in our mic.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, Allison, do you want to go first and tell us, a little bit about how your part of the scenario and situation that's actually occurring right now with Summer Wells?
Well, it's a very touchy subject with me because we're all close at one time. And Summer's like a daughter to me. I mean, it kills me every day that this child's gone and no one can find her. It hurts. I mean,
You guys were all very close.
yes. She was one of my little princesses.
She's a cutie pie.
She was. Still
Yep.
is.
She was a cutie pie. Again, past tense. Allie and Candace knew each other for a year and a half, people. In a year and a half, they lost the friendship. We lost Jose. And now Leslie and Allie are no longer friends. So what we're seeing here is what we're going to see kind of cognitively, what we saw yesterday, people. We're going to see the vendetta, probably. I'm going to call this out. We'll probably see the vendetta, the hatred, the unsettled thought process of what happened, their thoughts, their theories. Again, debunk the stuff we know already. Make sure you have a timeline, because in here it's going to get very, very good with timelines. Okay. Teresa did a hell of a job over at Unmasked on this interview. Chris did a phenomenal job. He did not flinch when Allie burped and farted at him and point. She actually did the point fart. You guys check it out. It's on my channel if you haven't seen it already. But again, have a piece of paper ready, have your pen ready. We have timelines. We know we got to think about from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. A lot of people are looking the 2 to 6 p.m. time frame. I'm looking 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Reason why is because she left the house at 10 a.m., I believe, after she said to the kids, I'll be right back. And Candace, you're a liar and a fat mouth. All of this was planned so you could get the hunter, have them all alone with you and grandmama. Thank you again for being here. Please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the donations. Much love and respect. Happy holidays. And if you're out tonight at a Christmas party, please do not drink and drive or get an Uber.
She looks like she's a little fireball. She's a little firecracker.
Yep, and she got a little temper, but what kid doesn't at her age?
They think they rule the world when they're the baby, though.
Yep.
So your son, who, like I was saying, we refer to as H. Like I said, you're obviously welcome to call him by his name. Was one of the last people to be with Summer on that day.
Yes. Candace and Summer came to the house that morning, asked if Hunter could go swimming with her. I didn't see nothing fishing with her. I didn't see nothing wrong with it because, brother and sister. Go out, have fun. Do something with that little girl. Show her that there's fun out there. That people love her. People care about her. And, from what I took it, they had gone fishing, and then she dropped them off between 2 and 2:30 in front of my house.
From what I took it, they had gone fishing. How did you take it? Well, you were sleeping. You don't remember.
And she was sleeping in the backseat of her truck. And then next thing you know, later on that night, I got a phone call when I was at the football field saying that Summer was missing. I said, y'all need to stop pulling my leg.
Red flag. If you love someone like a daughter, you would not question the fact that she's missing. You would say, what can I do? Where do you need me? What can I do? How do you need me? You wouldn't be like, oh, don't pull my leg, and then call back a day later. Allie, you're a liar and a fat mouth.
Because me and her mother had a falling out back in late September, early October. She crossed the lines. And
oh, she crossed the lines October when Don got arrested. Right? Oh my God. Who the fuck is that? Is that Jose? I swear to God, I'll throw a beer bottle at his ass. And if you break my fucking door, I'll be really pissed. Right? I'll throw this R&R at you, you fuck. As soon as I get you out of Allie's belly button, I'm gonna fire a beer at your head. Right? Then we'll get you a free Uber Grandis. Take him to North Carolina. As the kids are kicking the grandma in the knee, she's like, yeah, no problem. No problem, Don. Just stop the hoodlums from kicking me in the knee because I'm going to have to go back to the hospital in a little bit. Probably when your daughter goes missing. Get some more medication to sell to the Ben Hill Billies.
I ended our friendship. I mean, there's certain lines you don't cross.
Right.
I like.
Oh, what do you mean that she Jose liked her more than you? Is that the line? Or are you talking about the lines that she put all in the cocaine bar so all you guys could have a threesome, steal a bunch of drugs? Liar, Allie.
That you were still okay with Hunter going though.
You lived there basically for days on end. Right? Everybody saw you there. Literally saw you there.
And you were that your friendship didn't change the relationship that your children had. That's very kind.
The way I was growing up is just because you have a falling out with any adult, you shouldn't take it out on the children. No child deserves that.
Very true. And Miss Leslie, would you like to tell us how you fit into the family?
Well, me and Allison work together. And when we started,
Oh, you work at Walmart. I thought you were a nurse. Every drug addict's a nurse. I'm an LVN, right? Especially the ones who intravenously use, right? Oh, no problem. I can hit that for you, no problem, right? They're the ones who go in the doctors and be like, no, I got this. I'll pull blood for you, right? Whatever.
started working together, we became close friends from day one. And, it's like her kids.
That girl in the house.
They call me aunt. Her kids call my daughter their aunt. And we've all got close. And Hunter has become one that, you know how some kids are, they don't feel comfortable opening up to the mother.
Right.
Or the, any kind of role figure. And he actually opened.
By the way, people, just because she says or like BK says, let me tell you, just because there's somebody that you follow or subscribe to, just because Hitler raised his hand and said, work the ovens for today, the same damn thing. Right? Mental warfare. Let me tell you, pay attention, right? To people like Leslie right now saying to all these people, 150,000 people watched this. Right? This should not have been said, right? You do not give a fact that's not factual or without a statistic to prove it.
Opened up with me, and we was talking, and I encouraged him, hey, it's summertime. You're 15. Go get you a job. And that way you can save money. You can get the things that you want. You can help mom buy school clothes. You can do a lot of things that you couldn't do because you don't have the money. And he was excited. He filled out an application. He got a job. And I mean, just to look on his face when he got his first paycheck, that was $127. He acted like he got a check for $1 million.
Yep.
I mean, he called my daughter straight up and he said, Aunt Stephanie, look at what I got. And I mean, he was just, and Hunter's the type of person, he's good hearted. Yeah, he has a temper. What
did she say straight up? What's straight up?
Her kids call my daughter their aunt. And we've all got close. And Hunter has become one that, you know how some kids are, they don't feel comfortable opening up to the mother.
Right.
Or and I mean, just to look on his face when he got his first paycheck, that was $127. He acted like he got a check for $1 million.
Yep.
I mean, he called my daughter straight up and he said, Aunt Stephanie.
Leslie, your daughter's name's Straight Up. What's up, dog? Tap it out, straight up.
I mean, look.
Gangster talk.
Look at what I got. And I mean, he was just, and Hunter's the type of person, he's good hearted. Yeah, he has a temper. What 15-year-old don't act like they conquer the world, you know?
Oh, they know everything.
And see, that's like the
I can't. Not. Sorry, I had to run back here as fast as I can. I spilled coffee on my desk. I'll clean it in a second. Gangsta talk. Doug, you come from the hills of California with a cop dad. You're spoiled. Your dad does everything for you. You go around causing problems, starting in the fucking F the police campaign you came to YouTube with, right? Putting the police down. Is that because you have daddy issues? I seriously have to ask you that because you know what? I come from the city, Mr. Suburbs, okay? I say straight up. I also say fuck you, okay? Grow the fuck up. You're childish. You're perverted. You reoffend people. Remember when he posted the picture of somebody's vagina? I wouldn't doubt that you would do something gross to somebody based off the way you act like a 2-year-old. Nah, a 12-year-old. We'll say a 12-year-old, right? Grow the fuck up.
Of hiding your belly when you do an interview. We know that too. Now we know what Victoria's secret is. It's where Jose is.
That's watching that has asked that question. There you go. There's your answer.
They photoshopped that picture so much just to look for crumbs on that plate.
Oh, like zooming it in?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's probably lines of cocaine on it before.
That's
And
people
because they
online
found
for you.
fried cornmeal on
I
the
actually
plate.
do have a question. Now,
Okay.
Candace picked up your son. So they went back to the hospital to get the grandma. How far of a ride is the hospital from your house?
About a 5-minute ride.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't out of the way
It's
or anything?
literally like right around there and up the road from me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's all that's making sense. It's so much easier when you actually can like envision how far things are
No, her food pertains grease.
from each other.
Yeah, but
you know,
I'm trying. It's because remember Candace did say they got there at 12:20.
I mean, drug of choice.
yes, that's when she took the video.
No, the video was at 3:09 p.m.
No,
She said they got
I'm sorry, the video of her swimming, the swimming video, right? Remember, she said she knew the time because that's how she took it off of the swimming video.
the picture.
That's how she was
the
so
picture,
precise. Yeah, the where she was actually swimming.
But they picked up her son at about 10 o'clock. So what did they do for 2 hours before they went to the swimming hole?
Allie, do you happen to know?
That right now we can't really discuss because
Okay.
that was part of the interrogation.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. It's not in part of the it's investigation. What are you hiding? No, Allie doesn't have a black eye. Just the way her face looks.
Absolutely understand.
Yeah.
Somebody did ask a question. Did Hunter happen to see like if Summer like hit her head on the rock or anything like that while they were swimming? Leslie shaking her head. No, no, did not happen.
Leslie, you weren't there. Why are you always invested in every answer? You're just like Grand Bundis or whatever. Great Grandbun. Right? You can't let somebody answer a question for themselves. Y'all gotta chime in.
That she was fine whenever he got her out because he checked her.
Okay. Let me see.
Did LE take Hunter's phone? Do they have it now?
Can you say that again?
Does law enforcement have Hunter's phone?
Yes, law enforcement does have Hunter's phone.
Thanks, Leslie.
Okay.
Now, if you want, you could clarify that. Is he with you?
Yes,
As
Hunter
of
is
today.
still in my house. He did not go to New York with his dad. He's still home here in Tennessee.
Still working? Still got the girlfriend?
Still got
As
the
far as
girlfriend. Still
working, no,
working.
because he's scared to go to work.
Wait, what was it? One says He's working. The other one says he's scared to go to work. Leslie is now the new mother of Hunter. Or she the godmother? She the answerer? See, this is when you know a story has been talked about several times, right? When you start fabricating a narrative or a story, you start correcting people. Or when a question is a trigger, since you guys are idiots, we can tell through an interrogation process, watching you guys, how you act. Leslie, I know you know more. I know you know more about Hunter and the relationship with Candace. And again, he trusts you more than his mom, and that's why he called you at the soccer fields and not his mom. Point proven.
Yes,
As
Hunter
of
is
today.
still in my house. He did not go to New York with his dad. He's still home here in Tennessee.
Still working? Still got the girlfriend?
Still got
As
the
far as
girlfriend. Still
working, no,
working.
because he's scared to go to work.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave the house.
No.
Did Hunter say if if Summer was sleeping weird in the car?
Why would you be scared to leave the house? Could it be the gang signs you're flashing at any point? Could it be the fact that you know you're guilty and your family knows it? Could you be scared because reality is about to strike? Or are you the one who took the bait, made the deal, doesn't want to get in trouble, so you're the one who's talking, and that's why you're being held for a key witness?
Car or anything along the lines about Summer sleeping, or just that she was totally fine and she was asleep?
That she was totally fine and she just fell asleep.
Okay. I'm trying, you guys. There's a lot of you guys asking questions here. I'm doing my best to try to make sure I get anything that you guys are asking before we move on. I'm trying, you guys. There's a lot of you guys asking questions. I do have one question before we move on. Candace's mom had put out something on social media that said, "Hun, some." Oh, where'd Leslie go? We lost her.
Good.
Leslie coming back?
Are you coming back on?
I'm like, she's got a
they
lot
can
to
sit
say.
together.
Yeah, you guys can sit together too if that's easier for her.
No, they can't.
I'm like,
Come up here, we
I can
can
tell
sit
by the look on
together,
her
they
face.
said.
She's got some stuff she wants.
You can tell that the angle of the camera is not going to allow both of them to be on at the same time. The camera's not in portrait mode. Believe me, they can't be.
To say. So I don't want her to go away. Okay, what was I asking?
Her
What was
phone
I
might have died.
Oh, about the Hun, the
Oh,
abbreviated
yes.
names.
So Candace's mom, put something out that said, "Hun," like HUN, some SUM. Candace and I were planting flowers.
See, they were already at the house back home after they dropped Hunter off. After that, when they said that, that's how her mom speaks. She called everyone Hun.
Okay.
She called me Hun. She called my grandmother Hun. She called everyone Hun.
Okay.
She probably called your great grandma Hun Bun.
Did you ever see the brothers like roughhouse with Summer, or were they rough on each other? I mean, anything that would have been like concerning to you as a friend?
They would roughhouse with one another, and little Summer would get right into it.
Not like
she even like one night, Candace was tickling my youngest.
I'm sorry, what? Candace was tickling your youngest? The fuck does that mean? I get like till they fall asleep, but like tickling, or
not like
she even like one night, Candace was tickling my youngest, and Summer's like, "You don't hurt my friend," because she thought she was hurting my youngest. She goes, "You don't hurt my sister. You don't hurt my friend." And she went over there and like she.
Okay, so Summer represents the laughing and the tickling, or the holding down and tickling, as "don't hurt my friend," right? Why would she feel that way? Because she was never tickled and she laughed? Was she always hurt? Why does she represent tickling with hurt? Tickling hurts so good, right? It's a good tickle. But a 5-year-old wouldn't know what hurt so good feels like unless you're an adult or over 18, which you should be when you figure out what hurt so good feels like.
She kicked her mom, like, roughhousing.
Like she's protecting her. That's so cute. Let's see.
Did
Susie,
Hunter notice anyone suspicious like that day, like following them or just in the area or anything?
No, I asked him. I said, "Was there anyone else when you guys went swimming? Was there anyone else looking at you guys? Did anyone follow you guys home?" And he said, "No."
did you see something red in the back of Grandma's truck?
No, I didn't look in the cab.
Okay.
It's supposed to be in the bed of the truck.
Let's
Talking
see.
about the red thing that's in the back
Yes,
of the
yes.
cab, not in the cab, but in the bed of the truck.
In the bed of the
Picture.
truck. In the picture of Summer sleeping on the 2 gallons of milk, you can see a red object in the back. There's been a lot of speculation on it being a trash can that she was parked behind or by, a red tote that could possibly be in the bed of the truck, or possibly a truck that's actually following them.
I think it was just something in the back of her truck. Like that
Okay, I was
woman
wondering if
collects
you actually had seen it.
That woman collects everything.
Well, what's funny is when she parked yesterday, she said she was actually, they were looking off the balcony, right? Where Allie was sitting talking to Chris. She was looking towards the park, and she said the front of the car was pointed away from her that way, and the back of the car was pointing towards the grand bun. Now, if you can't see down in the back window where Summer is, because that one window's up, is there tint on the back windows? Is there a way to see in and out? Or does it seem like it's just trash in a car that they normally don't take? Because they're normally in a red Subaru. Right? June 15th isn't a normal day. She's not in a normal car. She didn't go at 10 o'clock knowing, or did she know that she wasn't coming back until 6-ish or a little before, 5-ish, 4-ish, whatever. I don't believe any of the time. I don't believe that Allie would have got up out of her chair, out of the house, and walked down to that area where the car would have been to check on Summer, or to where Summer even could have heard her voice, unless she's yelling, "Sandra!" Right? Like, you'd have to think that she was yelling, or that's how she always talks. I think Allie's a yeller. I don't think she's a talker. I think she's a yeller. That's why everybody wakes up. Summer wouldn't just pop out of the car and say hi to her, even if she heard her. I think it's all bullshit.
They go to garage sales, yard sales.
Now, would it be normal for them two to be planting together?
I thought that was kind of odd. Because when I talked to her the night she went missing, she told me that they're on the side of the house planting flowers. Well, no one goes on that side of the house to play or plant flowers or do nothing.
All right. Well, the front and back door are facing a different direction. Actually, it's running parallel, right, to Grandis's trailer. The side of the house would actually be pointed towards Grandis's trailer. The front of the house would have been pointing the same direction as the trailer, but the side of the house is actually pointing towards the trailer. That could be the side of the house. Don't let Allie get you twisted here.
Because that's where Donnie kept his work stuff.
That's the shed. The shed towards the side of the house is where she wouldn't let Chris go into, or where his tools were kept, along with his drug paraphernalia or whatever else.
I had read somewhere that area was kind of like a memorial for Rose.
No, they don't have no memorial for Rose up at the house.
Do you know if they were making one? Like, maybe that was the purpose of the planting, that they were making a memorial for Rose?
No. See, Mom Candace and Candace both have different feelings about Rose. Her mom, Mrs. Rose.
Mom, Candace, and Candace. So great grandbun, Mandis, which is Candace, and then Candy Hare.
To death.
Mhm.
Okay.
That was her daughter. She's very sentimental when it comes to like the day she disappeared on her birthday. Candace would get drunk and say, "What are you crying for?
Okay.
The bitch is dead. The bitch is dead." Like, how do you know your sister's dead?
Wow.
Why would you call your sister that's been missing a bitch?
Very interesting question. Did you ever ask her?
She said, "Because I just know she's dead." Like, okay, how do you know she's dead?
She just bypassed the whole bitch thing.
And she wouldn't talk about it.
Now,
Did
Candace
she-
was not living in Wisconsin when she disappeared, right? Or was she living there at the time?
I'm not aware of that.
That's kind of weird for her to say that, but I mean, maybe because of the time that's been, it's been I think 10 years, I believe, right?
Yep, 10 years.
But I mean, to say that to, you know, her mother about that, her own daughter, that's kind of not nice.
Well, the sister saying it. The mom is the one that misses her and wants to make sure
Yes,
she's
well,
okay.
that's what I meant. Candace to say
Oh,
that
okay.
to her mother
Maybe I
about her
got
daughter.
confused then. Did you? How was Don with the kids? Like, how did he interact with the children? Did he? Did he favor Summer or anything like that?
Summer was his pride and joy out of all those kids. That was his baby girl. That was his angel. But the other kids, they really didn't interact with him because he'd get up, he'd go to work, he'd come home, sling a few beers back.
Mhm.
You know,
Few beers or a handle of R&R.
Mm-hmm. So he kind of just was the dad that worked all the time and kind of came home tired. And did he go a lot of places with them? Did you see him like when you
Nope.
guys would take the kids places? Okay. Let me see. See if there's anything else.
He
I
never
can-
went anywhere with
Now,
us.
they both took polygraph tests.
Well,
Did they-
they've said they took polygraph tests and they have said that they have passed, but we have not heard the confirmation from law enforcement on that.
If she
Right.
passed the polygraph, why did she call your son in the cop car stating, "I failed the polygraph test. I have to go take another one. I'm going to the police station."
Well, it's real easy. Candace was on drugs. She was on alcohol. And she was doing a Grammy Award, Oscar-winning performance. Just like the phone call to Mary. She was like, so distraught, right? That she couldn't take the test and not get a false positive. She came back. And again, they were still, and we know this because Chris McDonough knows this also, and he presented this, that at the time of the polygraph test, that Don came up dirty for drugs, marijuana, cocaine, meth, and pills. Same with Candace. We already knew about the drugs. The only reason why they would have passed is because they would have medicated themselves. Or you can look on YouTube and teach yourself how to beat a polygraph test. It's not that hard, including drug-induced beating it. Moving on. And by the way, by the time she got the second polygraph test, she had time to look up how to beat a polygraph test, along with being a career criminal with Don, knowing how to talk, right? These people aren't good people. Get it through your head. Don and Candace are career criminals. They will do anything to beat the system, beat the charge, beat the case, to keep doing drugs, to keep R&Ring it up, and to get away with murder.
To take another one, or
Yeah, because she
Yes, to
failed.
take another one.
So she
So
And
she
then
called
the
said-
next
Hunter.
day, after they questioned Hunter, she showed up here, her and her mother, to question Hunter on what they said, which is illegal.
Wow.
well, that's interesting. So she was on her way to the police station to take her second polygraph.
Yes. Because she failed the first one.
And she called your son to tell him that.
Yep.
While he was at work.
While he was at work.
No, she didn't fail the first one. It became a false positive, and they needed to reschedule. It wasn't called a fail. It's neither a fail, neither a pass. And it's not admissible in court. So either frickin' way, it doesn't really matter. We don't need a polygraph test to figure these idiots out.
Because he called us at work wanting to know what he's supposed to do.
If you can't answer this, I understand, but what do you guys think happened that day?
I really can't say, but I have a gut feeling about it.
Can you say your gut feeling, or is that out of the question too?
That was
Yeah, I know what your gut feeling is. It's she did the finger point part. Like
Guys, I have to change the subject just for a second. I got a very important message from someone special, and I'd like to share it with you guys. This is from Danny's mom. She has a message for everyone. My heart, I want to cry for them. Just so you know, these last 2 years have been a very hard time for us. This has affected our family in so many different ways. We loved all of them so very much. My heart aches on so many different levels for so many different people. We hope and pray every day for every single person involved with this tragedy. The verdict has given us a sense of closure during this time. We are healing as best we can. All of our family and friends are devastated. Please let us mourn, pray, in healing during this difficult time. Then she told me I am allowed to publish this. I put, yes, ma'am. I love you guys. I am so sorry. You guys are hurting. And she put, thank you for being you, Chris. So I wanted to get that message out there. I'm crying a little bit. I'm so happy that they're able to heal at this moment. And I'm so happy Danny's able to move on, and Leilani got sentenced to the justice that she deserves. But I do understand that these people loved her. It's heartbreaking what they had to go through. Lisa, I seriously love you guys, and I'm so happy we were able to become friends. We're going to talk. I'm going to let you heal. You reach out to me, honey, okay? When you're ready. Mwah. I'm going to let this play. And I'm just going to take a moment, okay? You guys can listen. Thank you. And please spread that message from Danny and his mother, okay?
right at Chris. Chris didn't even block it. He didn't cuff her. She finger farted him. Maybe we should take a quick break and bring that up. I think it's time for an intermission. I'll play the shortened version if you haven't seen it. It's called an excuse me, Allie. What did I just hear? What we'll do right now. We're gonna watch this. I don't care who you are. This is funny. Can't believe this happened. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, frankincense, chestnuts are roasting on an open fire. Don and Candace gonna be in jail soon. Oh, excuse you, Allie, but excuse us. Intermission. Here we go. Allie already knew Summer's missing, so she asked Candace what's wrong. I don't know if this is how the conversation really started.
I said, how could she just be gone? I just seen you guys not that long ago. I said, what happened from the time you guys got home, from the time you guys left my house, until she went missing?
There's
She
two of
said,
me.
we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house.
The hell was that? You okay, Allie? Choking on it. That must have been Jose burping. They didn't plant flowers. They repotted cactus.
Got home, from the time you guys left my house, until she went missing. She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house. So she went missing. She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house. Mom's camper.
She burps and farts. I can swear I heard that. Totally. I'm really pissed off. I have earphones on right now. What in the holy hell just happened? Jose's kicking. I'm dead. What the? What the? That's the weirdest noise. Lord. Somebody timestamp that. She barted. 59:40.
So she went missing. She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house. We went in,
Lord have mercy. Okay. Okay. It was. Listen.
we planted flowers.
He's like, no, stop. I'm on live stream. Merry Christmas. Happy Toot Year.
That do like what I had called the TBI and stuff. But in terms of it, I don't think she's here anymore with us.
That's heartbreaking.
It is.
Nose breaking.
I'm really trying.
My
Honestly, I'm
experience with
trying to hold out
the
hope the
first day
best
I
I
met her,
can. Go
I
ahead,
told
Leslie. I'm sorry.
Allison, I told her grandmother and her mother that I didn't like her because of the way she done her kids. The first time I met Allison was her at Allison's birthday party. They had a little pool out back for the kids to play in. Her two boys was horse playing. Okay, that's what you're going to do in a swimming pool. And because they was horse playing, she got mad at them, made them get out of the pool from being wet and lay on hot pavement with their stomach against the hot pavement.
This was
And I got
she made all the boys do that, or just
do what?
she made all the kids do that, or just one?
Two of her boys. And it made me mad.
Tennessee sun, won't you come lay on the pavement?
And I went and told Allison the pool was going to get emptied because those kids are not going to get hurt by her doing stuff like that to them.
So, I hate to even ask. And you probably can't answer it anyway, but do you feel like there was something that transpired and between the time that they got home to the time that Summer was reported missing?
It's the truth, people. They did, in fact, empty the pool. They emptied the pool right away. She said so. Only truth.
Honestly, from the way I've seen Candace around the kids, she was all about the boys.
I'm going to hell.
And she was jealous of Summer because of the attention that Donnie gave Summer and didn't give it to Candace.
I don't know if this was asked because I was booted off, but was there any way for someone to come on that property that easily to snatch her in 2 minutes?
No, those dogs would have barked.
Nothing sad. Actually happy, Justice. Danny's mom from the Leilani Simon case, Danny, Quentin's stepfather, had reached out to me while I was live, and I took the second to look at it. And she just released a statement. I'm gonna put it on my community post after this live. I just had a moment. I'm sorry. It was touching. But back to Summer. We'll talk about that later, and I will definitely post it so everybody can see her statement from Danny and his family.
Like I said earlier, those dogs, the minute they heard something, they'd be all over that.
No, the dogs were getting their anal glands cleaned by other people, not Don fingering them over at the doggy daycare center. Apparently, all 18,000 dogs were gone that day.
Property. If they didn't know you, they'd eat you alive.
Brandy, it's okay. Or Brenda, you too. Brenda, Brendy, Brenda, Brendy, whatever. All of us, we're all shinners. Moving on.
My grandmother, when she rode up with us one day, her and my mom stayed in the car while I went up to feed the dogs, and those dogs came right down the hill and they were growling at the truck.
Yep, sure were.
Welcome to Thanks Investigates True Crime and Comedy all the time. Get through these cases that way.
Do you know, did Dawn take a polygraph and pass? Because that was the other speculation. Did you hear anything about that?
He claims he did. I don't know. He claims he did. I don't know.
Okay.
Good answer, Leslie.
Did you ever, I hate to even ask this, and you may not be able to answer it, so that's fine too. Did you ever hear after the second polygraph of Candace's? Did you ever hear anything after that?
Just what she stated on her interview on TV that they passed him.
She didn't state that. Donnie stated that.
But she had to keep quiet. Donnie's the one that.
Leslie, you need to shut the fuck up.
Most of them talking in the interviews.
Show you're trying drunk.
Have you guys ever heard Prayer Gardens when she gets mad? I swear to God, you fuckers!
Okay, I do have a question. Apparently, Don's niece said she heard Candace and Don had a baby after Summer, and they gave the child up for adoption. Do you know if that's true?
I believe Summer was the last baby.
Okay.
You believe? Guess what? You know what I believe? I believe Hunter impregnated Candace. Wouldn't that be some shit?
No child after Summer?
Not that I'm aware of.
Right?
Did you ever talk with Candace about her older children that she had? There's a lot of speculation that the sister Rose that ended up missing actually took custody of Candace's two oldest children.
Her oldest two children were put in foster care because
abortion dinner of one. Your table's ready. Abortion dinner of one. Your table's ready. Candace, what'd you do? Overdose, drink, go in a hot tub. Did Hunter get you pregnant? That would be some crazy. That would be some shit, huh?
Candace had met this guy and he got her hooked in some meth and everything, and she had lost her kids. And instead of fighting for her kids, she let them get adopted out.
We were.
Do you know if that was her sister Rose took them?
No.
Okay, that was one thing that had been.
This was complete foster care.
Okay. Let's see. The dogs. You said there was like 20 dogs around the property. I'm assuming dogs of all sizes, all ages. How would they react if like somebody like you walked up on the property, like somebody that the family knew, like the dogs knew? How would they react then?
The 12 that I know, they would come running down the hill. They would bark at me, but then when they realized, oh, it's her, I'd be all right.
Let's do a poll real quick. Did Allie? Right. All right, let me see if this even works. The poll says, did Allie have bacon or sausage on her to create a diversion from the dogs? Moving on. Has nothing to do with this case. The reason why the dog stopped barking is because Allie's life alert is a necklace with a ham sandwich on it. So if Allie ever goes down, you just shove the fucking ham sandwich in her mouth and the bitch will be okay. Moving on.
But the 8 that they just had, they probably chew my head off.
Okay, but you'd
Because-
hear them barking, you think? I mean,
Oh yeah, the newer ones would bark at me, definitely.
okay. Let me see.
Yeah, every time they barked at me, I just farted them away.
There's a lot of stuff happening on YouTube currently with some of Dawn's relatives that have come forward with some stories about Dawn's history. Did you ever suspect or believe that there was any type of inappropriate actions or inappropriate things happening with any of the children?
By the way, thank you to the new subscribers and members. This is the kind of quality you get on this channel. You get polls and everything like that.
On Dawn's side.
Well, Donnie did come out and say that he has been to prison. He never told me what for,
78% says yes.
but another reason why I fell out of that whole situation was because Candace's boys were acting funny. Like, it came across one day in the store that one of her kids said another one of them touched them.
It's the same thing that attracted Chris to the interview was the bacon.
And I'm like, did you ask him? I said, did you sit down and have a talk with him? She said, no, we will when we get home. So I wouldn't put it past it.
That's unfortunate.
Sandra!
Okay.
And there has been multiple CPS reports made. My mother's made a couple. CPS would show up.
Why does it look like Allie looks like Chaz Bono right now? What the fuck happened? Does she have is it just me or does she have a 5 o'clock shadow? What the hell is going? That must be Jose. It's gotta be Jose's beard coming out.
Candace would not let them in her house. She'd hurry up, get her house clean. You know, she'd stay off the marijuana for a couple days.
She has a better beard than I have.
And she peed clean once or twice, I believe. And CPS would, just be on their way. Like, she had a recent CPS report that was open. And she was dodging them. She made an appointment for them to come and look at her house. She dodged them.
I have a lot of opinions about CPS, and I know every state calls it something DCFS, and all different things. That system is a hard one for me to have an opinion on, and I'm going to keep that to myself at this time here. Do you know? Here's one question from the chat. Do you know if Candace was drinking that day at the swimming hole?
I do not.
Okay.
I would like to know.
Do you if something happened with Candace? I'm so sorry, my throat is still a mess. If something happened with Candace and Summer, do you believe that Dawn would cover the situation for Candace? Like, would that be something that you, in your opinion,
Was Candace and Hunter banging at the swimming hole? I can't answer that. Okay, moving on.
and he would do?
That's kind of hard to say.
Okay.
Because to me, I would think he'd beat the shit out of Candace.
If
Like
he
I
knew
said, that
something
was
had
his
happened.
princess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't.
Oh, you guys got it already.
know them, and that
Thanks.
was kind of my thought too. So
Now, would it be normal for Summer? Does she ever go into the woods? Because I know Candace had said that there's bears and there's snakes. She doesn't go in there. She wouldn't wander off.
Nope, that little girl would never leave that front yard.
Yeah,
Red flags. She didn't wander off. Unless she was told to go downstairs or get out of here, or she was insignificant, or go die, go kill yourself. Would Candace be like that? Right? Would Candace be like, get out of here, we don't want you, go walk off? I don't know. She wouldn't walk as far as everyone thinks. She's a 5-year-old, 30 pounds, 4 feet tall. No water, no food, no socks, no shoes. That's a problem to me. I don't care how you grow up out there or how the country folk are. She's a 5-year-old who doesn't have callous feet like all the country folk who have lived there for that long. There's no fucking way that she walked off. Quit that shit. She didn't walk off. She didn't get taken. Can't handle the truth. Don't go to shares, because guess what? Do you want the tooth or somebody to lie to you? You want the tooth. I've got all of mine, all 32 of them.
would she walk down the driveway on her own? Because one of the other
No.
speculations is that the search
No.
dogs have. No, she would not. Okay.
No, because they have wild animals there. Like last summer, we had an incident with a copperhead.
Oh,
The kids were outside.
Jody Sue, your kids are 19 and a lot older than a 5-year-old.
We were cooking on the grill, and one of the boys was sitting on the riding lawnmower.
And your kids probably had more chances to run around and get their feet like that, as opposed to being kept in the dungeon like Summer was.
Next thing you know, he's freaking out because he said there was a copperhead that crawled over his leg, and he stood still. And we took the garden hose and we tried flushing it out from the lawnmower because we didn't want it to attack any of the kids. And I shit you not, it was a big copperhead.
no way. No way. No, thank you.
That's why I said these kids always stayed in. Like the boys, they would wander off. They'd go through the woods and everything, but they're older. But little Summer, no, she stayed in that front yard.
Around her little swing, it seemed to be like an area that.
Yeah, that was her
Candace-
favorite thing.
I like the video when she's on it.
That, and then if you look closely in the video, you'll see like this little area. She used to take the water hose and make a little mud pit and play in it.
Such a little tomboy. I love it. Okay, so let's see. A couple people have asked again. We did cover this a little bit earlier, but I'll ask it one more time so that that they want to know what you thought about Summer and what Hunter thought about Summer when he was being dropped off. If she looked healthy, alive, just asleep, like what you and Hunter thought about her in the backseat.
He thought she was alive.
That she just fell
I
asleep and everything was fine.
Yep, I thought the same thing too.
Okay. Yeah, if this hadn't happened that day, would you have ever looked back and thought that something was off? Like when you saw her that day, did you think, something's kind of weird here, this is not normal? And then
No.
you never thought that until now. Obviously she's missing and you're looking at it in retrospect and think, wow, I should have done this or that kind of thing.
Yep, I beat myself over it. Like I should have reached and gave her a hug.
Don't ever beat yourself over it. Beat yourself up over it.
You can't do that.
It kills me.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Mm-mm.
You'll never get out of that mindset then. You can't do that to yourself.
Does your son still talk to Candace, or you won't let them
Nope.
talk? No.
Nope, no contact.
Thank you, Bonnie. Appreciate that.
A lot of people have asked why Hunter would be scared to go to work. And I don't want to speak for you. So, but I mean, to me, I would think that he's a 15-year-old kid who's now in the middle of a very traumatic situation. I think that would be scary. Is there another thing that is there something else or another reason that he's not wanting to?
I hate you, Patrick.
I hate you more.
I hate you no matter what.
Yeah, well, I hate you even if I didn't hate you.
Patrick, can you shut the fuck up?
Exactly.
Here's Mom. I mean, what do you think?
She looks just like Patrick from SpongeBob right now, doesn't she? I need to go. Wowie, 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 wowie. What the fuck? What's up, Patrick Starfish, aka Allie Fartfish?
Yes, can I answer this question?
Yes.
The reason why the child is afraid to go to work because the two goons that come to pick him up, he's honestly scared to go anywhere, like I stated earlier. He don't want to go anywhere unless he is accompanied with an adult that can protect him. And one of the gentlemen that's in with the association that came to get him posted their physical address on a live chat. And he's honestly afraid to walk out of the house.
That's scary for
She's a fluffer fish.
a 15-year-old.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big situation.
So he does not want to go by his dad. So he wants to stay with you.
He sat here on Saturday when these two goony tools showed up from Georgia.
I swear to God, I want to get her sponsored by Manscaped. That fucking shadow shave.
And the cops were here. The lieutenant had asked Hunter, because Hunter was not in my house that day.
No, he wasn't.
He was in a, once we knew about this planned kidnapping, we had removed Hunter from the house and we put him in a secure location. And I told KPD, which is Kingsport Police Department, I told him that he was at a secure location. And if they want to know where he was, we tell them. They said, nope, we don't want him to know where he is.
I just want to talk to him.
We just want to talk to him because you never know who's out here listening and watching.
So I called him on video chat.
So Leslie had called him on video chat when the police department was here. The lieutenant spoke to him, asked him if he was safe. They asked him if he wanted to go to his dad's. He said, no, I want to be home with my mom.
Oh, not today. Thank you so much.
Therefore, Jeremy Duggan wanted to speak to him.
Right there. Thank you.
So he asked my permission. I said, yes. Hunter can talk to you. He goes, Hunter, do you want to go to your dad's or do you want to be here with your mom? Hunter goes, I want to be there with my mom. So this Jeremy Duggan guy and this Paul guy really need to get their heads out of their asses and state the truth. Now, that night when they came to extract them and they failed, Mr. Paul from Bikers of Association decided to put a Facebook Live up. And he goes, he was greeted with two hostile bitches.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I give you props. Yes, I'm a hostile bitch, and so is Leslie. But you just ain't going to show up on my doorstep.
When it comes to my children, so I get that.
You ain't going to show up on my doorstep and demand a child that I don't even know you. Bye.
Okay, so I have a couple questions about that, and I don't want to get in the middle of any of the custody stuff that you guys have going on, but I do have some questions about it. So, did Hunter typically go and spend summers with his dad?
Well, what it was is Hunter was born and raised mostly in New York State. We moved here to Tennessee about going on 10 years now. Andrew got a bug up his ass because they finally found New York State Child Support finally found out where he was living. Mm-hmm. And he owes me back child support. Mm-hmm. And he also owes the state. So they got him on a violation of non-payment of child support. Well, when he got those papers, he decided to throw me into court for violation of visitation, which from when Hunter was about 4 or 5, he was in kindergarten. Andrew has not seen his kid. Didn't even care to come get him on the weekends like he was supposed to. So he violated me on visitation, so we had to go to New York. We came up with the agreement that he would take Hunter in the summertime when school got out. The first Sunday when school got out to last week of before school started. Last year, Hunter did not go to New York because 1, he didn't want to, and 2, because of COVID.
And 3, refer back to 1 and 2. I like how she started 1 because he didn't want to. 2 because of COVID. What's up, Merle Haggard? Tell me with your 5 o'clock shadow what
Okay.
This year, Hunter had a job. And he has a girlfriend. And then there's another thing that we're not allowed to talk about.
Okay.
So Hunter had a job, a girlfriend, and a baby on the way. What can't you talk about?
And his father was very well aware of this.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like it, but he goes, okay, well, maybe I can come down there and see him sometime.
So you guys have that all squared away now then. I mean, he's going to come down and visit Hunter there because of the situation.
Well, Jeremy Duggan.
Wait,
and
hold
Andrew
on. What was that, Leslie? You got an answer for Allie? Okay, moving on.
That Paul guy think that they're going to come back here and get Hunter and bring him to New York.
Who's Paul?
Gonna happen.
Okay, I'm not overly familiar with their organizations or how that works, but as a mom, I would have a hard time handing my child to somebody that I have no idea who you are. Is there a reason that his dad didn't come and pick him up?
Because he got the money. Because he ain't got the money. He don't
No,
work.
Thanks, Leslie.
Fireworks.
He don't work.
What was that? Yeah, okay. What was that? What if I ran my show like that? Right? Someone tells me something and I spit it out. It's not your story. That's her story. And apparently your beard's sticking to it.
He lives off his girlfriends. He's got at least 8 other kids out there. And he doesn't pay child support for any of them. I have Hunter.
At least 8 other kids. So Allie's ex has at least 8 other kids out there? What the holy fuck?
He's going to come down and visit Hunter there because of the situation.
Well, Jeremy Duggan and Andrew and that Paul guy think that they're going to come back here and get Hunter and bring him to New York. Ain't going to happen.
Okay, I'm not overly familiar with their organizations or how that works, but as a mom, I would have a hard time handing my child to somebody that I have no idea who you are. Is there a reason that his dad didn't come and pick him up?
Because he ain't got the money. Because he ain't got the money. He don't
No,
work.
I've got the fireworks.
He don't work. He lives off his girlfriends. He's got at least 8 other kids out there. And he doesn't pay child support for any of them. I have Hunter. His mom is raising the next 2 kids. He's living with one of the baby mamas, which her oldest daughter that she had turned around and left her house and went to her father's house because of the way Andrew was with them. Andrew screams and yells at those kids.
Could you imagine having alimony? Jesus.
It's 24/7. And in previous times when Hunter was at his father's, my son had witnessed some traumatizing stuff there. So me as a mother, he ain't going back there. Mm-hmm.
So as of now, are you guys okay? Hunter's still there and you guys are good, and Andrew's going to come down and visit?
No, me and Hunter are good. We don't know anything about Andrew.
Okay.
Because we are not on speaking terms. And Andrew was trying to get Hunter basically kidnapped and run away, and I wasn't supposed to know about any of this. He had sent messages to Hunter saying, when they're there, they're going to be, just jump out your window. Who tells a 15-year-old kid to do that?
But they're not trying to kidnap him, but they laid everything out, wanting to know what side of the house his bedroom was, and asked him if he could take and get his clothes and whatever he was going to bring with him, put it in a bag and put it at the side of the house so when he jumps out, he can grab it and run. But they're saying that's not grounds of kidnapping. What is?
That's like I said, I'm not even familiar with their organizations to say like how they would have the I would not just let my kid go. So I'm having a hard time figuring out like what organizations would just come and try to take my kid from me and say, hey, they need to go see their dad. I don't know how that all works. Are they not hired?
The organization is on volunteer base. They're donated. People date.
So you volunteer to go tell kids to spend time with someone else? Social worker? I don't know.
Make donations to the organization. And the organization is for exploited children, abused children,
sex trafficking,
and sex trafficking children. That is what their organization is for.
Okay, but none of that pertains to Hunter.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of confused then.
And the thing about it
I thought
is,
it was like a hired
Andrew wants to
organization
tell
that got
them,
involved in like custody stuff. So.
And Andrew wants to tell them that he didn't know about any of this stuff with Summer, which he did know about every bit of it. And the only
that is Leslie talking.
only time that Andrew come up in this stating that Hunter was in danger was when the reward money surfaced. And he said, if I get him here, I'll get him to talk one way or the other. 48 hours. In 48 hours.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So
Whoa, 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 whoa. 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 I'll get him to talk within 48 hours. Knowing your son is guilty. I'll get him to talk. You know how much drugs and women get? Fire those flags off. All red flags. Thank you. God, I wish I would have wasted my poll now.
that he would have the information from Hunter, but Hunter's already cooperating with the police.
Right.
I would probably be afraid to leave too if I was Hunter.
You
This
have
is
full custody of Hunter, correct?
Yeah, I have full sole custody of Hunter.
And he gets visitations, or
The visitations are supposed to be every summer and then every other Christmas.
okay.
Which, mind you,
I'm sure every summer.
last Christmas was supposed to be Hunter's and Andrew's year. Andrew never came to get his kid. He had no money. Because he didn't have no money because he wasn't working. He doesn't pay child support.
Okay. See, someone in chat said Hunt is Hunter, son is Summer. That's
that's from that message from Grandma Candace.
right.
Okay, let's see. Do you? Okay, I'm gonna back up just a minute because there was a couple questions that I wanted to be able to ask. Somebody asked if you think that Grandma Candace would cover for Mom Candace if something did happen.
Oh, yes.
Duh. Look the way that Candace reacted on Dr. Phil, trying to get her mic off. Get this thing off. It had one piece of tape on it, and she couldn't figure it out. She was like a 14-year-old stomping her feet, throwing a hissy fit. I don't want to be interrogated again. Guess what? If your kid's missing, or say, let's put myself in your shoes. If my kid is missing, interrogate the shit out of me every single day if that's what finds my kid. You wouldn't feel like you're being interrogated if you didn't do something wrong.
Okay, so Grandma Candace would cover. Okay, let's see.
Because she's covered for on all her CPS cases.
To help to the what did you? How did you say that? That she would
She'd be the sober party.
Grandma would be.
Yep.
What do you know about Grandma's hurt knee? Do you know what happened or how hurt it was or what the appointment was for?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. You didn't know on July 2nd what the appointment was for. But when you talked to Chris a week and a half later, you said it was because of the boys were kicking her in the knee. It's exactly what you said to Chris a week and a fucking half later. How did you figure that out within a week and a half? Well, you and Great Grandbun had another conference, right? And you and Leslie had another conference, right? Exactly.
Let's see. I'm trying to get through all your guys' questions. I know there's just so many. And then you got slow mode that's on.
Now, is Don, is he a really religious guy, or is that an
Thank
act
you
that
much,
he
love,
does?
for that 149.
What was that?
Is Don a religious guy?
No. Your guys' volume's starting to drop.
Uh-oh.
That's your
Yeah, she was asking about were they
your blood pressure.
A lot of Don's interviews he goes to religion quite often. Did he speak very religious when you guys were all hanging out? Was religion something that was very important to him? No. What are your opinions on the religion?
I agree. This is why I do what I do. I make a lot of my own content. Mostly 95% is my own content. There's 5% when we got to go back to other videos and be able to use it for not only commentary purposes, but think tank purposes, right? We all come together and we can put these pieces of shit together to make one big fecal matter, like Allie's ass told us the other day in Chris's interview when she burped and farted out the story. Bunch of shit coming out of them now. There's a bunch of shit coming out of them then. Sorry, I'm not always a cusser. This case is the game. Watch all my other cases. You never see me cuss. The Don Wells story is the only thing I started cussing in between because of how stupid this thing is, right? All these people are fucking idiots. I'll take the dollar in the tip jar. I'll times that by 5 actually for that one. But they are fucking idiots, and I'm just counting that one.
Just talk now then.
I think it's all a bunch of BS.
And why do you think that Don would have to make up the religious stuff if he was told the story that, you know, they were planting flowers, Summer went inside and now she's gone? What do you think that he would be covering with the religious talk?
I don't know. Just that whole religious thing has thrown me off. Like, I keep questioning it myself. Like, what is he doing? What are they doing? Like, for the whole time I've known them, they've never been to church.
Oh.
Well, that's weird. If you had known them a year and a half, if you put them back a year and a half, 2 years ago, they were at the Baptist church. About a year and a half ago, they switched churches to the SDA church, the Seventh-day Adventist church.
So you've never been to church with them?
Nope.
Are you familiar with
But she's been to church with Frank Light. There's photos of it. I've shared them. I'll have to dig. What's that church in Kingsport? I'll find it.
Only the buffet.
Friends from the church? There was a gentleman who took out the boys to go putt golfing shortly after Summer went missing. Are you familiar with those friends from the church?
That was the first time ever hearing of that guy.
Okay, that's interesting because there was speculation that he was actually at the house the night Summer went missing.
Why? What's she trying to hide? I didn't know that. This is for education and commentary purposes, TM. She can strike me and I'll fight it. Or she can allow me to have it up. But why is it you come over here while I'm playing this and freak out? I didn't know that. Get out of my chat.
He was called over. So do you know like you've never been to church with them, so that kind of throws me because I thought that was part of the whole thing.
Thank
Melissa,
you, Mom. Thank you.
I thought that. I don't know what to believe anymore.
We do know they've been to church because we've seen them on camera.
Yes.
But as Allie had said,
too, I think.
Their relationship kind of ended. Well, Allie's relationship with Candace kind of ended towards October-ish of 2020. So is church something that's been since then? Do we know that they went to church prior to that? Or is that a newer thing? That's what I don't know. Let's see. There was one big question that I know we had talked about before we started this. Was one of the speculations is that your mom, being Sherry, has custody of your children.
That makes me laugh. That's the funniest one I've heard yet. Now, mind you, my mother does have 3 kids. Those are my sister's kids that she's raising.
So her mom has her sister's kids. Apparently, the family she grew up in is just like the Wells family. That's why they got along so well.
Okay. You okay? You want to stop for a drink? Okay. Somebody asked if you know that they're actually saying that Summer is Dawn's stepdaughter.
That is something new to me too. I think they just took all that out of proportion.
Thank you.
Because I've always known Donnie as Summer's father.
Thank you, Mayflower.
And the boys, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever hear about Dawn's older children?
I've heard of his older son Donnie from when he was in Utah that past summer. Because
remember, Don Wells is not Don Sr. Don Wells is Don Jr. And his son, Don Wesley Wells, is under him. So we've got Don Wells Sr., Don Wells Jr., the SAer, and then the also SAer underneath him is Don Wells.
Josie and little Donnie were hanging out.
Okay.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't believe they ever came to their house here.
Do you know how Candace and Dawn treated Grandma Candace? How was she treated in the family?
Well,
a leader.
For the most part, Candace loves her mom. And then Candace used to get drunk and say hateful things to her. Donnie, I guess they've had their words in the past.
Don said, between the three of us, she's the smartest one.
Okay.
But I guess they come to a mutual thing to like where they liked each other.
You've never met Dawn's older children or Candace's older children?
Nope.
Okay. Let me see. What do you know about the vehicle that they're asking to come forward? It's the late 90s model, early 2000s model Toyota Tacoma, maroon or red. Do you know anything about that you could share?
Nope. That thing just throws me off.
Okay.
I think your balance throws you off too.
Let me see. You had mentioned earlier that Candace.
And that freaking beard is throwing me off. That 5 a.m. shadow. I can't get over it. It's not your camera. You have a better beard than I have and better than Josh has. Amazing.
Just had switched up her stories a little bit. Do you have a particular example that you could share?
She told me the night that Summer went missing that they were on the site. She said that her mom and Summer were on the side of the house planting flowers. Then they went into her mom's camper to wash their hands, and Summer wanted a piece of candy. Her mom gave her a piece.
Oh, Angelina, ATF, I want to thank you for the $50 super chat to Unmasked. Again, I can't control their super chats. I'm putting up all your guys' super chats as well. I do not have an Angelina ATF in here. But I want to let you know, thank you guys so much for being a part of this channel and also helping it grow and being able to intertwine what's going on with these cases and being able to laugh, cry, be a part of this family. I love you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Please hit the thumbs up.
Piece of candy. Then she walked out of the camper and she wanted to go inside and play with the boys. So Candace watched her walk out of the camper and go into the house. She then turned around and went back into the camper and fixed her mom's leg. Then she went back over to the house to check on the kids. She asked the boys where Summer was. They said, I don't know. Maybe she's downstairs playing with her toys. She said she went downstairs and she checked downstairs, was calling for.
And if you guys remember, Jody Sue, you guys can come up in a little bit. You wanted to come up. But you said last night she was bragging about losing 6 kids when she only had 4. So you guys remember there are discrepancies in this stuff, idiosyncrasies that you guys may not understand how to put together. Again, timeline and what we're listening to is important. Thank you again, Unmasked, for doing this. And again, under fair use, thank you guys for being here and being able to explore this and put it together with the interview Chris McDonough did a week and a half later or so. Again, the story's slightly different.
Summer, and there's no answer. I asked her if the door was locked and shut, and she said yes. And
The
then
basement
now
door.
she's going around telling everyone different versions of the story.
Yeah, I believe she said it was unlocked, wasn't it?
There's those fireworks again. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I recall Don is actually the one who said that the door was unlocked. He does not say that it was open or ajar. He says that it was unlocked.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the same story for the most part, besides the door. So I'm wondering if there's and I don't want to make an excuse for anything, but I'm wondering if there's a possibility that the door was locked and then it was unlocked by the time Dawn got there. I don't know. That's that's an interesting one time wise. That they would both have something different to say.
Like, they have changed their story so many different times, even on social media and everything. It's crazy.
Yes, there's a lot of different stories going around. That's why one of the things we talked about was like the lice, because that was one of the things about the shaved head. People go, why is that important? It's only important because it becomes such an important thing on social media that we wanted to try to clear it up. People are saying like, try, not to ask you too much about what's going on with Hunter and the other stuff, but for some reason on social media, that becomes a huge thing and people want to say that, you're on meth and Hunter lives with your mom. So those are things that we want to clear up, and we understand that they're very personal, but the point of us doing this tonight and what Allie really wanted to do with us was to be able to clear up some of the social media nonsense and get everybody back on track to trying to find Summer. So it seems not important, but yet on social media it's become important, and we want to be able to take that away. Let's see. We probably do need more wrenches if we're going to have this many people in chat again. And Angelina, who said that one? Whoever said that one, you're right. This is Allie. They're loving you. I don't know if you can even see the comments, but the people are very happy that you're here and talking about how kind you seem, and lots of love being sent to Hunter.
Where the hell is Jose?
Okay, so I'm trying to think of. Yeah, there you go. The chat is out of control.
Of Candace's interview that stated that Hunter asked to go with her because he didn't want to stay here with his grandmother.
Oh yeah, there's a video I don't know if you guys are aware of yet, but it was
Candace's interview.
Candace's interview with WJHL, which is our news station here. She said that Hunter asked her if he could go with them because he didn't want to be here around my grandmother because she's a fucking bitch.
Around your grandmother? Around your grandmother or his grandmother, your mom?
My grandmother, his great grandma.
He calls Sherry Nana. He calls Allison's grandmother, which is his great grandmother. He calls her grandma.
Okay.
So they're all getting all that confused on who is who.
Could you imagine if Allie's interview was going like this? Well, what really happened, Allie? Well, basically, I have to tell you what happened was. Okay, so that tickled. Whoa. Wait. Oh, sorry. What was the question? That one tickled.
Right. Well, that's why people thought that Allie was Sherry. That's been a big one. That Allie is Sherry, and she just has multiple. Accounts with multiple names.
Yep, just like when they came to get Hunter that day, Jeremy thought Leslie was me. And then he called me Sherry, like.
Right.
Like, get your story straight.
Okay, so a lot of people want to hear Leslie's take on the whole thing too. So I don't know if we can put Leslie. Leslie, you want to give us your 2 cents or 4 cents if you don't mind?
There's your 2 cents.
Hold on, she's on the phone.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see what other questions people are having for you. Let's see.
Why do people keep bringing up Jose? I keep
Where
seeing
the
it.
fuck
Okay.
is he?
There was a lot of speculation at the beginning, Allie, of when Summer went missing, that there was a gentleman who was living with them on their property who was a registered SA offender. When the internet sleuth started looking, they found Chris M, as we refer to him, as being registered to live at that property. But according to Candace, he has not lived there since Summer was a baby, like 5-month-old baby. And according to other people on social media, Chris M has been back in Wisconsin for quite a while. So there's a lot of conflict on who was living at the property that was a registered SA offender. And now that we brought up Jose, do you know when Jose was actually taken to North Carolina?
Right after that police report was made, where Candace said she was in fear of her life. Donnie had gotten arrested, and her mom took Jose to North Carolina.
Okay.
So that would have been way before.
Yes.
What did she want? Sorry. Okay, I'm here now. Sorry.
Hi, Leslie. A lot of people are like, Leslie's got stuff that we want to hear, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to put your 2 cents in on, or 4 cents on whatever topic that you want to. Would you feel it would be important to clear up of some of the Facebook gossip and rumors?
Well, this whole situation is messed up, honestly. And, the kids is what my main concern is. And the way the people are going at different parties on Facebook, when they honestly don't know the true story. They don't know the true people that they're making their accusations and assumptions to. I mean, honestly, before they start going and slamming people.
Leslie didn't even flinch like Chris at a fart. It was like, right? Any normal person? Her? No reaction.
They need to get the real truth of it instead of automatically assuming like a relationship between Hunter and Candace. That's just sick in so many different ways. And honestly, knowing Hunter as long as I have, he would never do anything like that. And then wanting to say that Allison is on drugs and she's on meth and she's on this. And honestly, when they came to get Hunter, the 2 gentlemen from Georgia, they thought I was Allison and thought Allison was Sherry. So, I mean, not even them supposed to be protecting Hunter didn't even know who they was talking to.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Because you're Allison and that's Sherry.
And I mean, they automatically assumed they knew everything when they didn't. And I mean,
we're really going to throw them for a loop now, Leslie, because now you're on camera and you've got Allie's name. So we're really going to start messing some stuff up now. So for anybody who's watching, this is Leslie. She's using Allison's phone. She goes by Allie. This is not Allison.
And also,
I hate you, Patrick.
I hate you more.
I hate you no matter what.
Yeah, well, I hate you even if I didn't hate you.
Patrick, can you shut the fuck up?
All the confusion.
And also, after Jeremy Duggan spoke to Hunter, 30 minutes later, called the Kingsport Police Department, wanting them to come here and do a welfare check after he had spoke to him himself. And said that Hunter was here. No, he wasn't. And they want to assume when they don't know the true story, when all they had to do was ask. And I mean, it just really irritates me that they want to drag a family through the mud whenever they don't know the gist of it.
Right.
Take time, ask a question. Hey, are you Allie? Are you Sherry? Who are you? And even down to Allison's oldest daughter, they're wanting to drag her through the mud.
Are you Allie? Yes.
Thinking that they are the one that kidnapped her.
Right. There's a lot of speculation going around about Allison's oldest child, too, that when Allie comes back on, I want to make sure we clear up.
Okay, well, here she is.
Hello. You don't have to be done yet.
She's not done yet.
One of the things that Leslie brought up was that there is a lot of speculation about your oldest daughter going around social media as well. And I wanted to know if you wanted to take the opportunity to kind of squash some of those things. Almost the same thing with the
squash what your gut tell you. My stomach tells it. Why do they all use this, Chris? Even Allie says, "Well, my gut tells." You know what your gut tells me, Allie?
With Hunter is, some inappropriate relationships with some of the older family members of the Wells family. That I think at one point there was even something that said that your oldest daughter would be part of all of this to try to get Summer away from them. And there's a bunch of hubbub. So I didn't know if you wanted to take that opportunity to talk about that.
Yes, there's a rumor going around on Facebook that True was running away. That she's just recently ran away. No, that's when she was 12 years old. She got mixed up with the wrong crew of kids. She found herself with a boyfriend that was about 3 years older than her. And she kept running away with him because he kept putting it in her head, just run away, come stay with me for a little while, this, that, and the third. She was a rebellious teen. And she ended up getting sent off to a couple group homes, which she ran from them. Wasn't even in my care at the time. She ran from one out here that was outside of Kingsport. They knew she was a runner. She didn't want to listen to them. She didn't like the rules. She didn't like that, she couldn't see me all the time. She ran. Not once, not twice, but 3 times for that group home. So then they relocated her down
Not once, but twice.
to Knoxville. She ran from Knoxville twice. Then they did a mental evaluation on her. And she ended up in a psychiatric hospital. But since then, this girl's been...
She's straightened up.
She's straightened up. School. She goes to school. She does what she's told. She's a 16-year-old, who now does not like boys. So if anyone wants to say that she's running off with boys, no. My daughter likes girls now. Which there's nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
And for people to drag her out in the woods, saying, "Oh, maybe she had something to do with Summer's disappearance. Maybe she took her." That's the newest one. That's out now.
That she hid in the basement and lured Summer out of the basement. Come on now.
It's all crazy.
All they're doing on Facebook is traumatizing children that shouldn't be fucking traumatized.
Right.
Sorry for the cuss word, but it irritates me.
Nope, I understand it. Absolutely. I'm known on this channel as a helicopter mom. So you're not going to say anything about being a mom that's going to push the limits, because I do all the time, because I am extremely overprotective of all my kids and overprotective of other people's kids, which is why we, up until this interview, don't say your son's name even, because kids, this isn't about the kids. They're an unfortunate victim in this circumstance. The adults are the ones that have to own the situation.
Yep, I was just recently told by my daughter too that last time her and her friend went up there taking the food, she had him something to drink. True didn't know what it was. She didn't know there was alcohol in it. And I guess Donnie didn't want no one spending the night that night.
And they kicked them out in the truck.
They kicked them out into a freaking truck, the back of a truck, to sleep.
Happy Hooker Hotline, Happy Hooker number 1. Oh, that's Allie's phone, not mine.
For the night.
Because you couldn't drive home.
Domino's, how can I help you?
Because
she don't have her license, and
Doug's Meat Shop, you can beat my meat, but not my prices. How can I help you?
Her cell phone, there's no cell phone service there.
No.
So he had her sleep in the back of one of their trucks?
Yep.
And not in the house?
Not in the house.
Is that when that was the situation that made your oldest decide, I'm done with this?
Yep.
Fair enough.
What's with that school bus on the property?
What?
The school bus.
The school bus on the property is Candace's mother's school bus. She brought it home from Wisconsin last summer, and she was going to turn it into an RV. And that school bus is just filled with a bunch of junk.
You said they like to collect things.
Yes. And is there any way you guys can raise your volume up, because it's very low on my end?
Yeah, I can talk a little louder. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Do you, and I don't know if this is something that you can answer, but when they were at the swimming pool that day, there was alcohol.
Is that loud enough?
And then we know that there was nicotine vapes. Is there have you heard
Weed
anything
vapes.
from either the family or Hunter, that would make you believe that Summer could have gotten a hold of any of those items while they were at the swimming hole or in the car?
No.
No. Okay. Let's see. A lot of the questions you guys are asking are great questions. We've covered a lot of them, so I hate to make her have to repeat, but we'll try to do like a recap when we're done. Let's see. Have you ever seen any of the Wells children get into anything like alcohol or
Were you recently injured in a car accident?
I was.
anything that they should not have been into?
Yes, they had an issue with their oldest son, Josie.
Okay.
Josie went to Utah with his father when he went to Utah. The reason for him bringing Josie out to Utah was because Josie was getting to their weed and he would drink her out.
Okay. Anything come from that? Do you know, like, did he ever have any like repercussions? Was there punishments? Was he okay after getting into it? Was it like a sip and he just did it on accident or purposely? That was a lot of questions.
I think the kid was doing it on purposely to fit in with his mom and dad. He was seeking attention. He wanted that love.
Okay.
Everyone wants that love. You know what I mean?
Was your son supposed to spend the night with them that night, or was it always just that we'll be gone a couple hours and then we'll be back?
No, it was just a couple hours and they'd be back.
Okay. Have you ever heard a rumor about Don trying to sell his oldest children when they were younger?
Everyone's leaving.
I've never heard that, just from what I've been reading on Facebook.
Recently?
Yeah, nothing has ever come about conversation with that.
Okay.
All I knew was that he had 2 children in Utah.
The reason why I have no problem playing the jokes and the effects to that is because none of that's relevant. Is what she's saying right now and what we're talking about with Summer.
From a previous marriage, and then Candace had her 2 previous children that were in foster care from a previous relationship. Then her and Donnie got together and they had all 4 of their kids. And
okay.
All 4 of their kids? I thought Josie was from a different marriage. Wouldn't that be 3? Isn't that 3 that are his biological? I thought Josie was from a different relationship.
Jessica, she said that H was dropped off between 2 and 2:30. Do you know who was living on the property at the time Summer went missing? Do you know all the occupants of the house at that time?
as far as I know, it was just Donnie and Candace and the 3 boys and Summer inside the house, and then Grandma was in her trailer.
Nobody else living on the property at that time?
Not that I know of.
Nobody else spending like the weekend or the week there on vacation?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see. Do you know any of the Wells neighbors? Are you familiar with any of their neighbors or?
One of them, and I can't say anything about that.
Okay.
One of them, and I can't say anything about that. Way to go, Allie.
Did
Let's see.
Summer and her parents, did they all sleep in the basement?
Yes.
And then all the boys were upstairs.
Yes.
It's not what we were told. Besides by you.
Did Candace bring a lot of men over to the house when Don wasn't around?
Well, there's this one incident last summer before Donnie went to Utah. We were at the Shell station in Dunkin' Donuts, and we're getting stuff for the kids for the day because we were going to go to the Warriors. And we were going to let the kids go swimming and play in the playground, have a picnic. And Candace started talking to some strange dude who was a tool. And we thought she was going to leave him there.
Who's the tool? That's funny. And everybody wants a wrench. That's a tool.
And she drives around, picks the guy up, and invites him to go to Warriors with us. I'm like, oh my God, this woman's nuts. And then she brings him up to her house. And then when her husband came home from work, he's like, oh, who's this? She goes, oh, this is Sherry's boyfriend.
So blames it on Sherry. This is crazy. blaming it. So if you're with somebody that's your friend and they pick someone up that you're uncomfortable with, you go back home with them. Why don't you separate yourself, you freaking weirdo? Trish, let me help you out. You don't need to tell me 5 times you're out. I'll just block you. Now you can watch from the background. Thank you for announcing your departure.
Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, why not
He
tell
was
your
not
husband?
sharing.
Like, why not tell your husband, like, oh, I just picked this dude up on the side of the road?
Because you don't pick somebody up on the side of the road and bring them the fuck home. That's why, Allie, you weirdo.
And was that common?
No, that was the first time she's done that in front of me.
That's okay. That's I don't.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I'm
I
telling
don't
you.
even know what to say to that, Allie. Like I'm like I don't even know what to say. And that was your mom's boyfriend now, apparently.
Just say chicks with dicks, since that's how they all talk.
Okay. Let's see, Melissa. What else you got? Let's see what else is in the chat. If you have anything else. Were you familiar with any recreational drug use at the Wells home besides marijuana and alcohol?
Just marijuana and alcohol, and Candace did come right out and tell me that she used to be a meth head.
No, just this and this. But somebody just told me that she used to be a meth head. No, you were there. You done shit with her and Jose. You freaking liar.
But that's when she had the other 2 children. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Okay. Let's see.
Since you know the property, do you think she could have been snatched out of her yard?
I don't believe so. It'd be very hard to.
I mean, especially they were planting flowers in the back, right? Or was it on the side?
It was right where her mom's trailer is. You'll see some flower pots. So you have bird's eye view of everything. Like where that trailer is of her mom's, the camper, if you go straight down that embankment, there's a main road. But that's quite a hike, and you got to go through a lot of garbage and a lot of crap. I mean,
so it's not what happened. Just like the dog trail, where Candace supposedly didn't know about the dog trail after living there for so long. She's okay with going down to Warriors, right? Right where there's snakes, bears, and everything freaking else, but she won't walk around her property. Again, I call bullshit. Red flags. Let's move on.
I like it.
And they do have neighbors that are close enough if they heard or seen anything.
Yeah, there is neighbors on Beach Creek Road that they would have seen something. Like right before you pull up, when you pull out of Candace's driveway and you go down to Ben Hill Road to go out on the main road, there's a house that sits right there in the corner, and they're always home. So they would know if someone else came onto that road to get onto that property.
That's not true. What if they were not home when you say they're always home? What if they were sleeping? They didn't see. What if they're in the backyard? These people go through the front yard. They can't see. Allie, you're a liar.
Is that the building that's like at the end of the driveway? Is that somebody else's like home, or is that a different property? Because there's like a building right there at the end.
That's the empty shed.
Okay, I may have to show you a picture just so we can be sure that we're.
So that's the white shed she's talking about. I believe Teresa is. Allie's talking about another house that's across the street, possibly Jody too.
We're talking about the same one because I want to make sure, because I did question what that building was.
Because if you like how their property set up is like their house is on top of the hill. They got her mom's camper, which is on the side of it. You come down the driveway a little bit, and there's 2 sheds. There's a blue shed and a tan shed.
Okay, the blue shed is the one I think I'm talking about, and then keep going. Okay.
And then you continue going down her driveway, and you take a left to go out on Ben Hill Road. Follow that all the way to the end, to the stop sign. And right at that stop sign sits another house.
Okay, that's the house at the bottom. That's the house at the bottom of Ben Hill Road.
What?
I said that's the house that's at the bottom of Ben Hill Road. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same house. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Melissa, do you have any other questions that?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, so somebody asked when did they start going to the church? We don't know. Allie has answered that she didn't know they were going to church. Let's see. I have a question. So you've watched all the interviews with Don and with Candace now, and then the one interview has Don has his son next to him. When you watched all these interviews, what were the red flags that you saw?
Josie, let me have a look at it. His oldest son, Josie, the one that's with him, he always had his head down. He wasn't able to speak.
I said this.
And that was all Doug showed. I cut the end of it off. If you guys want to see proof of that, I could show you. Actually, come on, man. I'm trying to, I don't know why it's doing that. There it is.
No.
There was 10 minutes and 31 seconds left. And it's just Doug talking.
I was very curious if Allie's friend with Jody's soon.
I've personally had enough of his
Hope
fault.
you have a bright one. I hope you have a happy one.
And ridiculous shit, so I don't want to listen to the last 10 minutes, but there I'm just showing you that's all Doug showed. There was only a few minutes left. If Unmasked wants to strike me, I'll take it down. I don't think that she should, though, because this is a missing piece of things people made and then took down. You know what I mean? And it's like a part of the story at the very beginning. Unmasked was the first one to interview Allie, and that's important because it was already put out there. There are other clips of it out there, just not the whole thing. You're hearing it without full context when people put it out, or without truth when people listen to it. I find it odd Tiffany came over here to fucking fight at that moment. I've been begging her to fucking put Summer shit out again for how many fucking weeks now? It seems to be a fucking theme with me. Excuse my French. I can't believe we're listening to a 12-year-old Doug. I know. It wasn't for Doug, though. You know? It wasn't to listen to Doug at all. It was to listen to the interview that everybody's been saying, put out. I didn't realize till today that I had it. I was looking for Shay clips. And I put it on, and I started clicking through it and was like, oh, shit. Yeah, let me go live. I tried to take Doug's farts and shit out, but you couldn't because he was doing it over the talking of the interview. So then I just decided it would sound too chopped, so let me just share it the way it is. I apologize for Doug's childish behavior. But again, it shows you what kind of creators are covering these missing children cases. We all have to have hope and faith. Yes, ma'am. All right, but before I hop off of here, I want to read one more time to you guys. Let me click on it, and I'm going to share it in my comment section because I'm going to come back later on tonight with some clips. I just want to start maybe chapstick. Oh, you're welcome. I didn't know the date of it. I didn't even have the date of it. See? And I have to go back and listen to it myself because I was distracted the whole time watching my chat. I can't listen and read at the same time, so I'm learning to go back and rewatch things. So after my live I'm going to have later, where I was just getting ready to tell you I want to share clips from Harmony and Quentin's case, mainly about CPS, and I want to start maybe addressing some CPS issues on my channel. I think it's important. Both of those children were put in a situation where CPS did not follow up. I know of a case of that in my personal life. I'm not going to bring it up, but I know that that happens often. And I think it's important how we change things like that is to talk about those cases. So tonight when I come back, I'm just going to share some Harmony clips, a few Quentin things. I don't want to go too much into Quentin because I've been covering Quentin so extensively the last 2 weeks. But before I get off of here, and I'm going to post it in my community post, Danny's mom had reached out to me, and I'm going to read it one more time, just what she wrote. I'm not going to read the whole thing because she wrote me, she wrote me one more time. I will read it. And I will post proof of this, just I'm going to block out her last name. Okay? This is her statement after, let me take a drink. I cried last time I read this, so I'm going to try to get through this and not cry. These people are very near and dear to me now. I want you to know that. Okay. This is from Danny's mother. This is a statement from Danny's family. Just so you know, the last 2 years have been a very hard time for us all. This has affected our family in so many different ways. We loved all of them so very much. My heart aches on so many different levels for so many different people. We hope and pray every day for every single person involved with this tragedy. The verdict has given us a sense of closure during this time. We are healing as best we all can. All of our family and friends are devastated. Please let us mourn, pray, and heal during this difficult time. Then she wrote me and said, "You are allowed to publish this." I put, "Yes, ma'am. Love you guys. I am so sorry you guys are hurting." She put, "Thank you for being you, Chris. We appreciate and love you." And I put, and then she put, "I haven't spoken with or to anyone else." So she wanted that out there. She wanted it heard. I will put it in my community post, but I am going to redact her last name. That's the statement from Danny's family. I'm going to jump off for now so that I could go prepare for my live later. I'm going to say like 10, about 10 o'clock. I want to try to go to bed early again so I can get up early tomorrow and go over the live clips. I'm going to try to go live twice tomorrow as well. I want to go over some other clips of Allie and, the CPS stuff, because I think it's important. I think we need to start pointing that stuff out, the stuff that affects children all over America daily, and how they could be taken out of one home and put into a just as bad, if not sometimes worse, situation. I think people need to hear that, and things within CPS needs to be changed. All right, guys. Peace and love. I'll see you tonight. Oh, what's Carolyn say? The person that took this little angel knows Dawn and Candace very well, and Dawn is the one who took her to the person that wanted this little angel, in my opinion. I really believe that they still. And you're welcome to your opinion, Carolyn. I don't disagree with anybody's opinion. I have my own, but none of us are law enforcement, right? So we can't say what happened. We could just look at all angles of the case, and that's something I preach often on my channel. And that's why I welcome everybody's opinion, because maybe your opinion may be wrong, but maybe one day, Carolyn, something in your opinion matches with somebody else's opinion, or maybe it might spark a memory or maybe a thought. in somebody who remembers, or maybe it's just a way for you to get it out what you believe happened to her. But we got to make sure that we have to let people know that our opinions are just our opinions and they're not truth, it's speculation. That's why this is a conversation channel. We can conversate about it, and everybody knows that there's no truth over here. It's just opinion. A safe place where I don't want people to feel attacked. And always remember, when the trolls come in, ignore them. They hate it. They go away. All right, guys. Peace and love. I'll see you guys tonight between 10 and 11, I'm hoping. Bye.